rolling. It's the Major League World Heavyweight Champion, your boy Hammer, Alexander Hammerstone, and you are turning in to Tru Heel Heat. And if you turn it off, I'll hit you with the Nightmare Pendulum.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero, and if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
Hey guys, it's Thunder Rosa and welcome to Tru Heel Heat.
What's up, Tru Heel Heat? Tru Heel Heat. What's up? Tru Heel Heat. All hands is on me. Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is Tru Heel Heat. And I said it right, you motherfuckers.
It's Saturday morning. I'm in Greensboro in a 4-year-old's room about to talk about a crazy week in professional wrestling. It is AEW Revolution weekend. I'm in Greensboro. The Tru Heel Heat team is in Greensboro. Miss Krssi Love is here with us via satellite from New York City. We got a lot to discuss with The Rock putting on amazing promos, both on social media while wearing slippers in his house, and in front of a sold-out crowd in Phoenix, Arizona, where he called them cactus crackheads. But is this all for The Rock to set up Roman Reigns and cost him the undisputed WWE Universal Championship? We're going to discuss that, plus final predictions for AEW Revolution. It's Tru Heel Heat 266. Hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 266. Rockin' Conspiracy, discussing the latest wrestling news, including the Rock promo from SmackDown, and is it all a setup for The Rock to turn on Roman Reigns and cost him at WrestleMania? The outpouring of support for Maxine Dupri after being booed at a WWE house show. Recap of this week in wrestling with AEW Dynamite Rampage, ROH TV. You had WWE SmackDown, Raw, NXT, TNA Impact, plus our matches of the week, plus final predictions for AEW Revolution. And yes, I am not the only one here live. I am joined by in person once again. He is the true draw. Josh, what's going on, Josh?
Nah, it's been great here. We had an eventful night last night, so oh man, it was been good so far.
Yes, we
I kind of figured that.
we already have a story to tell to everybody when we get back after last night because of my error in ways of not going out too well. I wasn't prepared, and other people weren't prepared to help me out that night. But it's all right. We're gonna talk.
Oh, dang!
We're going to talk about everything. But of course, to do that, we are joined by the princess of all the Tru Heels. She is the one and only Miss Krssi Love. How are you doing?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. I kind of figured you guys were going to go all in, pun intended, since you were with Kelvin. Kelvin is excited to see you guys. It's been a long, long time, and he's hosting. So you got to do what he says.
Kelvin's rules.
Kelvin's rules. This is
It's kind of like Bloodline.
Is John
rules.
coming on
Anything
too?
goes.
Or is John?
Yeah, John's here.
He's not coming on either.
Well, it's not a lot of room in a 4-year-old's room. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
Plus, John and Kelvin have to go get Chris G from the airport. Chris G.
Chris G. Oh, you got more people. Oh, it's lit. Oh, yeah. And everyone's staying at Kelvin's house.
No, I think Chris is staying at he has like a hotel because he works in a hotel, so he's fancy. Huh?
He's bougie.
He bougie. Okay, got it. Yeah.
He a bougie. But yes, thank you guys for joining us wherever you are. If you're in Greensboro, outside of Greensboro, New York City, like we usually are, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Even if you're watching not in the US, in UK, India, however you are watching, we appreciate y'all on demand, watching live. Show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, most importantly to us with our flagship podcast, we love to interact with all of you. So sound off in the live chat. Give us your thoughts on this week in professional wrestling, the good, the bad, the ugly. Here on the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast every single Saturday, 11:05-ish a.m. Eastern time. We are here to talk about the week in wrestling, no matter where it is: WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Indies. You can sound off in the live chat. Let us know what you thought about this week in wrestling. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you can do that the simplest way as well. Hit the $sign and send a super chat donation. Those are so important to what we do here. It goes back to every single contributor that you see on the channel. So we always appreciate that. And of course, we're going to start off hot with a super chat donation from Shay Nasty. Thank you so much, Shay. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. We appreciate you joining us for the flagship. He says, "What's up, folks? Just showing some love. Keep up the fire content." Thank you so much, Shay. You are one of our big supporters. Appreciate that. And then we got another super chat donation. Starting off early. I love to see it. Thank you, Big Hero Chris. He says, "I hope I get to see y'all at Revolution tomorrow." We're all gonna be in the same shirt, so I'll just let you know that.
Oh, what are you guys wearing?
The artwork of the True Jaw Josh. He did a nice little picture of Sting. Maybe at one point you can go down and we'll show them the picture. And we got our jersey names on the back. So
what?
I'm not gonna be able to hide and tell people my name is Sid because SP3 is gonna be on my back.
Oh, Josh, I might need you to get me something for WrestleMania then, friend.
No, you'll see.
Oh no, for the wrestling club you can make like the Cody picture. That's what they should do. If they're not gonna, you could wear a wrestling club shirt, or he
has them wear. Well, I'll tell you offline, but yes,
okay.
But yeah, we definitely could use it. Definitely could use it. Yeah. Okay.
You need alternates because you got different shows you gonna go to. So
exactly. Okay. Yes.
We're gonna connect Josh with Mr. Perry and the wrestling club. We're gonna get it.
And if they don't do nothing, I still want something for myself.
Forget all them. We got another super chat donation from.
All right, well, that's $5. Okay, you're starting off with $5. It's not a pay week, is it? I don't know.
Will was like, damn, y'all hitting the dollar sign early. I'm usually
You're not
the
gonna
first
outstage
one to
me,
say.
right? Yeah, right.
Will, we thank you. Thank you so much, Will, as always. He says, I've never heard the word cocaine, meth, and crackhead so much, and I
Oh my
still
God.
watch The Wire.
Oh, I got one. I got it.
There you go. Here we go.
Listen.
We got to get the big screen for this.
Oh,
This
that's
is
nice.
our Sting shirt, and then on the back, it's
This
Revolution
one is
Stat
Dawn's.
Kings.
Yeah, so like basically it's like this with our names.
I like it. I like it.
Revolution 24,
show
SP3, or JM Punk. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yep. I like it.
Gotta celebrate the Stinger. It's all about the Sting this weekend. We also got in the chat Josh's lovely better half, who says, "Hey everyone, still feels surreal seeing my hubby and SP3 sitting next to each other. Hey Krssi, miss you, boo.
Miss you, honey.
Love it. Thank you, Shay. Great work by Kelvin and the great artwork of the True Jaw Josh. But yes, thank you guys for joining us live. Keep sounding off in the live chat. Keep sending in those super chat donations if you're feeling generous and you want to get back to what we do here, like the great people that have already supported us. But let's get into first our Tru Heel roll call, how we start off every edition of the Flagship podcast. This is where we celebrate each and every one of you supporting us across social media, as well as here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, as well as our Patreon. Our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels group page. You got Dalton Charles at number 3, number 2, Jermaine Packman, and number 1, Luis Jaden. So the same as last week. Our Patreon backers, you got Vala B, Alan Weinstein, ALW, the Negro Buck Nick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, Robert, Steve, Fifth Generation Carney, Ladarius, John, Dan, Kobe, Dolores, John Martin, DJ Eric, Marcus Ryan, James, Alan, Santo, Queen Monet, Christopher and Victoria Kid, and Nick Tim. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. But let's get into what we miss. And I thought we were going to start off this week with AEW. I was like, it's going to be nice and neat. We can get AEW at the start of the podcast, and then we end off with predictions for Revolution. And then The Rock decided to break the internet and to tell us that wrestling is cool again. So we had SmackDown last night, which the show featured an absolutely masterful opening segment featuring The Rock, featuring Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, where The Rock counter-offered Cody's challenge for a one-on-one matchup for a tag team showdown on night 2 of WrestleMania 40, with Cody and Seth teaming up to face Rock and Roman. But he had a special stipulation. He said if Cody and Seth wins, Cody's match would be free from Bloodline interference. But if The Rock and Roman won, Cody versus Roman would be a anything goes Bloodline rules match on night 2 of WrestleMania. This was supposed to be the end of the promo, and then we got even better, as The Rock was going to give his closing line. If you smell what The Rock is cooking or smell what the Bloodline is cooking, and Roman stopped him in dramatic fashion and asked The Rock to acknowledge him, which got audible holy shit chants from the crowd. If you were watching on Fox, you didn't hear any of it, and it got blacked out multiple times because of a Die Rocky sign. We'll get to that in a bit. But The Rock acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. The two cousins took their own blood oath, honoring one another and being on the same side going into WrestleMania 40. But the tension is palpable just mere weeks into this partnership here. Also, you had Randy Orton beat Austin Theory in a good main event matchup. Post-match, Grayson Waller attacked Orton until Kevin Owens made the save for him. You also had Tiffany Stratton picking up arguably her biggest singles win on the main roster, beating former SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi in a decent opening matchup, but did not get a lot of time, and Naomi didn't get an entrance.
Oh my God.
Carlito picked up a win against Santos Escobar in a street fight after the return of Rey Mysterio, who got a measure of revenge, costing Santos this matchup. And you also had Bailey, who, no big surprise, got turned on by Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai betraying Bailey by bailing on her during their tag team matchup against the Kabuki Warriors and joining Damage Control in their attack on their former leader. So a lot of noteworthy things on this episode of SmackDown. Miss Krssi Love, you review it over on Body Slam, but any short thoughts, your overall overarching thoughts on this episode of SmackDown, which I will tell y'all what Dutch Mantel messaged me and Rick Utino in our private chat for our SmackDown review, even though I wasn't on it yesterday. And he said, this show could have ended after the Rock promo.
I mean, it took 40 minutes. It literally took I counted. I saw that's why Naomi couldn't get a damn entrance. I mean, she got one from there, but we didn't see it. Which is a disservice. This is terrible. Like you bring her back and it's back to the same old shenanigans. She's losing, no entrances, no one cares anymore. Might as well just put her with the bloodline at this point. Like at least she'll get an entrance.
I will say, I think that people will kind of jump to complain about stuff like that. But there's also, I feel like I'm on the fence in regards to Naomi, because I think that is too soon to be like, oh, they're treating her like they treat her before, or they're treating her bad. But reason that I'm on the fence and not completely on that side is that back to back, it does look bad. Her being the first person eliminated from the Elimination Chamber in the fashion that she was, she did not get a move done on her. She did a move to someone else, and someone else pinned her. And then to follow that up with her, having no entrance and losing what was a 5 minutes of TV time matchup, it's not a good look.
And you lost to the same person that pinned you in the roll up at the Elimination Chamber. Make it make sense, friends. I know we're building Tiffany Stratton, but you could have had her face someone else. And then Tiffany, it's okay if Tiffany had lost too.
No,
not
at the Chamber. She's over. You got to continue to get her over with the US crowds.
Okay, sure, whatever. Bloodline thing. Good thing. Rock could have done without a couple of things. I feel like he lost us some places, but I mean the heat was on. And wrestling has always been cool. I don't know why he thinks that he just made it cool again. Maybe he brought more eyes to it, maybe, but it's always been cool.
Well, when Rock says wrestling is cool, he means WWE. And WWE was not cool for the longest time.
I mean, is it cool now?
Yeah, it is. They're selling out every joint. They got the loud crowds. They got the biggest movie star in the world on their TV every single week. Cody's a very popular star that's on the rise. Roman Reigns, the longest reigning champion. They have major mainline mainstream crossover stars now in WWE. That's why it's cool.
Okay, because those people were there before The Rock even joined the board. So
Well, to be fair, Cody just came here 2 years ago, and it takes some time for you to get momentum to.
But he was over But he was over from the moment he came back.
But there's the way he was over last year going into WrestleMania, and there's the way he's over this year going into WrestleMania. WWE by accident created basically a child of Daniel Bryan and John Cena. He's a white meat babyface who is loved by the hardcore wrestling fans. This was something that WWE could not accomplish for 20 years.
Okay, sure. Okay.
I just call it like I see it. I'm not the biggest Cody fan. I'll just call it like I see it.
But overall, the show for me, I gave it a 7.5, I believe. I think because it just ran too long. Then we had Braun coming in and being like the new Goldberg, which is not even necessary.
I liked it. I was fine with it. You know why I was fine with it? Because I was out somewhere and I was able to watch that match. I just went to the bathroom while I was peeing. I just pressed play and it was 19 seconds. So it actually beat my stream.
Man, I thought it was his entrance was longer than the damn match, but whatever. Bailey storyline. the hand that Bailey is dealt for this year, it's so sad. I mean, she won the Royal Rumble and is like, you have to keep reminding people that you won because no one really like is vested into it. Unfortunately, I mean, we would like to be, but there's no story behind it, really.
But to be fair, is it that no one's interested in it, or is it that really the WWE doesn't seem that interested?
WWE,
I think the fans want to be interested.
right?
In it.
The fans want to be interested, but they are not doing anything to benefit her. They're so vested into the Bloodline Cody story, and then even Rhea and Becky is getting more shine, I feel like, than her.
Most definitely. They were at the press conference before their match was made.
Right, you're right. So
literally,
you should have had, but before even having Bianca, which I know Bianca's star power, she's a face of the company. Bailey's not even on the graphics for WrestleMania, and she won the Royal Rumble. That's sad. Pack it up, sis. Go where your friend is at. Like, she's waiting for you in the rafters. I'm telling you, when we see her on March 13th, yeah, you should definitely come join her because, yeah, this is not benefiting you anymore. Yeah, like, you don't have to be like Becky and be WWE to the end of your career. It's okay. You can go away because I promise you'll have a great career. I promise you. And you love to wrestle. Like, you can wrestle.
I just don't know why they did the Dakota turn the way.
So in 1 week,
they had Dakota come back the week after.
Well, no, meaning like she
realized that they were against her, and they built it up for like 2-3 weeks. But like they didn't give us anything really in those 2 to 3 weeks. It was like one backstage segment where they talked to each other. Then the next week was the fake attack where we didn't see her get attacked, and she was just limping backstage. And I was like, I saw someone online. I forget who it was because I do want to give them credit, but it wasn't me. I'm just letting them. I saw somebody else tweet this out, and they said, "Why didn't they have like a segment with like Raquel or Tegan Knox coming up to her and being like, Bailey, you shouldn't trust Dakota. Like there's like people that have been betrayed by Dakota. It would have helped out, and it would have got more people into the story."
But also, Bailey really doesn't have any allies because with Damage Control, she's lost all credible friendships when he went because she attacked them all when she was with Damage Control. So she really doesn't have anyone to have her back. So that could have been another way to have the story as well. I feel like it could have went on one more week where we could have maybe had the Kabuki Warriors or whatever, like trap her in a room where she couldn't show up for a tag match or some shit like that. You know, something like where we know like they're playing games with Bailey and Dakota is the person that's behind it.
I would have even preferred them to do the attack this week before the tag match. Like we just see her attack backstage. She's just down.
She's down.
And Bailey has to start the match by herself, and then she'll come down, and then she could do the same thing of
and don't even tag her in. Yeah,
it would have created more of a story throughout the show as well.
And I feel like we still have 4 weeks to go, and we what are we gonna do with them? Like, they're gonna beat her up? Like she doesn't have any allies. She's gonna like go and like try to like beg for friends, like maybe Naomi, because Naomi wasn't here when it happened, so maybe that could be a friend. But it's like, girl, like you're grasping for straws right now. Like no one can help you. Yeah,
her former NXT best friend, Carmella.
Very true, very true. So we'll see.
There we go. What did you? I know you only saw the Rock segment, so what did you think about that last night and the 40-minute long? Was it worth all the time that they dedicated to it?
Oh, absolutely. I thought it was his best promo, best segment since he's been like back. To be honest with you, just everything about it was hilarious. I really thought like it was better than his first one when he came out, just because of the timing. But yesterday, like when I saw it ran for like 40 minutes, I was like, if you're gonna do something for 40 minutes, this was it, because it hit all cylinders. It hit on what The Rock was, like what he was implying, and then basically finally mentioning the tag match that most of us have been speculating, and then we kind of already knew that it was gonna happen, but just for The Rock to finally make it official, it's like at least that gives confirmation for it. But everything about it, him insulting the Arizona crowd, which I mean, not wrong about. But yeah, everything was great. But then I also love the whole thing with Roman. I feel like that's going to be another build up to like when they finally face each other. That was great.
They seemingly in one segment were able to build the main event for both main events for WrestleMania 40 night 1 and 2, and seemingly the big main event for WrestleMania 41 at the same time. Like we literally, and funny enough, me and Josh earlier in the day had a conversation about superhero movies where we talked about Dawn of Justice versus Civil War, and how Civil War had a bunch of things they wanted to accomplish. They were introducing Black Panther. They were introducing Spider-Man. It had to work as the third film for Captain America, as well as a follow-up for Ultron, as well as the setup for Infinity War. And it accomplished everything brilliantly in a top 5 Marvel movie. Whereas Dawn of Justice had the goal of the second Superman movie, introducing Ben Affleck's Batman, introducing Cyborg as a character, introducing Flash, preparing for Justice League, setting up for Wonder Woman, and it accomplished none of it. It accomplished none of it spectacularly. This was Civil War. This was the Civil War version of a wrestling promo where it accomplished so many things. It furthered The Rock's heel persona. It furthered the Bloodline story. It furthered the build to WrestleMania 40 night 1 and 2. They gave us a tag team match they were teasing. Plus, he gave it stakes, which we didn't expect.
Right, he did, and he's like, we're not even like letting like Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis do any of the work. I'm a part of the board. I'm one of the heads. We're doing it my way, and I can appreciate him bringing that part of it into the story now. Because yes, that is my job now. I make rules, and you're going to do what I say. If you don't like it, that's too damn bad. And you're not even you're going even over Paul's head now. Like you're going over. Like I am on the board. I am the head, and I can appreciate that part of it of the whole thing. He called them meth heads, crackheads. Their audio was messed up on a lot of people's ends. I thought it was just me. I thought it was just like my kid. No. I was like, "What's happening?"
I checked it out because we were all like, "What's going on?" And I checked it out. It was the Fox feed was blanking out, and we'll explain the signs and everything. That's a part of our news notes for this. So yeah, they had that, and then there was also people chanting like "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
mute that out.
That's to come. That always happens, but it was just like blanking out, like going like the screen was like going black, and then like the audio kind of came off a little bit before they was even saying like all the the F-bombs and shit or whatever. So I thought it was just like, oh crap. But a lot of like services and like feeds have been like going bad lately. Like it's not just like on just like Fox or whatever. It's like people's cell phones, everything has just been like people are playing real funny shit with everyone's stuff in these electronics nowadays.
Yeah, I agree. We got Belle. I'm sorry, Belle. You tend to give WWE way more credit than they deserve. She says, I think Bayley is off the graphic on purpose to build sympathy for her.
What?
If that was the case, Belle,
I love you, but no.
That would mean, Belle, that would actually mean, Belle, that they left her off the graphic first because they didn't think she needed to be on the graphic, and then kept her off of multiple other graphics to build sympathy. So you at least have to acknowledge that they disrespected her in the first place.
But who's giving her the sympathy?
That she's off on purpose. I think that you're giving them way too much credit because I don't think they're concerned with building sympathy for Bayley outside of what's going on TV. They're not doing that. Their promotional materials are for advertiser or for sponsors. There's no reason for them to put Bayley on those. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the Bayley fans. I am one of the biggest Bayley fans. I've been a Bayley fan since she was a fan going around on NXT in 2013 asking AJ Lee for an autograph. I've been riding on the Bayley streets for a lot longer than a lot of y'all. She is not viewed as a star by this company. Let's just be real. Like, I think she is a star. I want her to be a star. But to say that they're keeping her off the graphic on purpose to build sympathy, I'm sorry. I got a bridge in Brooklyn. I'll sell you if you think that. We got a super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says The Rock won me over when he said Cody has that look on his face like The Rock ran over his stupid dog. Popped me so hard, even the dog is not safe. Yes. His lines about Pharaoh and catching strays to Pharaoh, and then also the Seth Rollins 5-minute roast.
Oh my
was the
God.
best part of that. But then when he kept using the same jokes in the promo here, I agree with Krssi. That was the point that it was dragging in the 40-minute promo on SmackDown.
Because he kept repeating, and I was like, you're The Rock, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like just be, you could have been like the board member Rock, and you could have just went with that part of the whole thing. You don't have to keep saying the same punch because we got it the first time. Like
and also by keep saying it, you were basically proving Seth right. Seth says you always use the same jokes, and you literally use the same joke over and over again. Don't make Seth Rollins look right. That's not a good move.
Right, and that's the whole point. You don't want him to be like to outshine you, if that makes sense. Because now that's what it looks like. Because you said the same jokes. All you had to do was say it once or twice, and you would have still been like, "Oh man, he roasted you bad," and that could have been the end of it. But you dragged it on, and that's why the 40 minutes was just like, oh my God, like Jesus, like.
I think you said something about that when we were watching it live. I think you were like, oh God, like what is he's dragging it.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like.
Yeah,
okay.
Again, like I thought it was great, but then like when it came to Seth, I was like, yo, like he's going at Seth worse than he's
than Cody. Yeah,
you
don't even need to do that.
On? And he did it both promos with the 21-minute video and the 40-minute promo. Like he was going probably in worse at Seth than Cody.
Yo, it's like this promo is supposed to be about Cody, dog. Like you don't have to murk Seth like that. And he played his interviews too. Shout out to Alex McCarthy, who probably accomplished a career goal because The Rock used one of his interviews in that 21-minute online promo.
Yep, I saw it. Yep, I saw the tweet. I saw it.
Well, he dragged a lot of people. He dragged La Greca from Busted Open. Yo, that was great. That was great stuff.
We got another super chat donation from, of course, the GOAT, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says, so Cody versus Roman is going to look like Avengers Endgame when everybody running out. That is why Rock and Roman have to win on night one.
They have to win on night one. First of all, if they don't win night one, it's just showing how the story is going to go. But I would expect it all the way for them but to win because he's the board. Like it could be anything that just that'll make them win. I don't even think they're gonna win via like by pin. Like I feel like it's gonna be a win by something really dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something.
It'll probably be Rock pinning Seth.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine. But you can have this Cody Roman 2 matchup without repeating the finish of last year. So you have to have the bloodline interfere. Therefore, Rock and Roman have to win on night one. Because Cody kicking out of getting the Samoan spike and getting speared will be history. It will be something special that everybody in Philadelphia in that stadium will remember forever.
And it's also something special where all three of these men are all wrestling 2 nights.
Yeah. And now
it's never been done. Like you said last week, you said like this is where they've made it different and unique now, where these 3 men now, Seth, Cody, and Roman, all now have to wrestle 3 times. I mean 2 times. Excuse me. I'm sorry. 2 times. Excuse me. They have their own individual matches and they have the tag match.
But like I said last week, Cody and Roman are making history. They will be the first duo.
Wait, we don't even need the bloodline. Drew McIntyre probably can make that happen.
What? Help them win?
Help the bloodline win because of Seth.
No.
You don't think so?
I'd rather Drew stay out of it. I don't think Roman and Rock need anybody to help them win.
Well, that's also very true. I mean, they have Solo, like Solo.
They get the bloodline. Help the bloodline. That's family. Drew, I feel like that would be too. I think it's okay for Drew's character to accept help from the bloodline to win a matchup.
Oh,
But
so
then for him to physically help the bloodline, that feels too much out of his character.
Okay, I see. Okay. So you're saying the bloodline will help make Drew win.
Well, Drew basically, remember, we'll talk about what happened on Raw this week, but Drew asked Seth to stay out of it. He was like, I don't want the bloodline involved. Stay out of it. And he would not listen. He said, it's bigger. It's bigger than everything. We got
I love this Drew. This is a great Drew character. I feel like this is something that he's been wanting to do and they wouldn't let him do, I feel like. And now he's just like going like balls in with it.
Best character in WWE by far.
Besides R-Truth.
I'm sorry. I'm
over it now.
Yeah, it was fun for like a month, but like the fact that it seems like this is leading to them winning the tag team titles, I'm like, ugh. And I did not mention with SmackDown last night. A very notable moment was Nick Aldis backstage saying to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate that he has a special announcement about the tag team title.
Right.
And I think it was Ibu of WrestlePurist. I 100% agree with him when he put out the tweet. He retweeted that and he said, WWE really did not want Awesome Truth to be their only tag team championship representation at WrestleMania, because I really feel the announcement is that they're separating the tag titles.
So they didn't want
They didn't want
Miz,
Awesome Truth to be the undisputed tag team champion.
So they didn't want Miz and Truth to be the okay. Got it. Well, no what that's their fault, because you know why? You shouldn't have did this foolishness.
You should have been separated them.
You should have
separated them after the Usos lost them. A year ago.
Even when they lost them to Kevin and Sammy, you could have still once the Judgment Day, you could have separated them after that part. Because you could have had Sammy and them just be the undisputed, and then once after that, we could have separated this and we wouldn't be having these conversations right now.
Agreed. We got a super chat donation here. One more from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says, have we ever seen Roman that salty and jealous? No, the jealousy in Roman Reigns was palpable because he did the whole first part of the segment where he did Phoenix, Arizona, acknowledge me. And he was very upset that it wasn't as loud. And I think the reason why he thinks that it wasn't as loud as before is because The Rock, he doesn't get The Rock reaction. He never has gotten The Rock reaction. Even at his highest of heights, he's never gotten a Rock reaction.
And he never will. Because he's not The Rock. Your cousin has been the bigger star of the family forever. Like, you have to accept that. But yes, he had this whole mean jealousy. But if you're the tribal chief, you shouldn't even let them don't show your hand like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where they did differ for the role of if I'm the tribal chief, I don't even need to worry about you. So what, you get higher cheers than me? Okay, but I'm still the tribal chief. I'm still in charge.
I would really love to see, because what I got more than salty and jealousy was insecurity. Especially when he asked Rock to acknowledge him, it wasn't that he wanted to prove himself as the leader. Is that he feels insecure standing next to The Rock,
right? So
he needed The Rock to say that.
He needed the fulfillment. He needed the what's the word?
Validation.
There you go. Thank you. He needed the validation from the bigger star saying, I acknowledge you, family, like you are. But they never showed The Rock's face, so we don't even know what The Rock's face looked like.
When he was hugging him, yeah, because Roman had the face like, oh yes, I feel the love of my family.
But it still looked like it was doubt in his I still seen doubt. Like he still can't trust him. You know what I'm saying?
Another great point that I saw on Twitter is that from Jordan Pato, Roman, if you also don't want to look like you're the little brother to The Rock, maybe you shouldn't dress like you're in a college basketball team.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, this guy is coming out. He came out with the freaking velour gold vest the first time. Now he comes out with it's straight out his 1999 closet with 2024 upgrades, with
Yep.
the white shirt, with the designs and all this, man.
I said the same.
It
I
looked
was
like
looking
one
at
of my grandmother's tablecloths. Like
It
it
did.
was
It did.
illustrious.
It looked real rich. Like, you know, you can't the tablecloth and the stuff that you're not supposed to touch on the table. You can't touch that. Like, you can't even like it. I definitely said the same. I was like, Roman, if you're the head of the table and now you're with the head of the board, like it's time for you to like change it up a little. I'm not saying wear a suit and tie like the Hurt Business or whatever they of the street business. You don't have to do all that, but you shouldn't be in J's and a sweatshirt. That's everyday. You can show up to the arena, but when you're coming out, you need to start looking the role as the head of the table.
Yeah,
Change it up.
got to change it up.
You have to,
change it up
because it's not working this way now. You don't have to be Cody in full suits and ties. It's okay, but it's time to start. You have to, if you're going to do this role, you need to switch it up.
Head of the table, dress like the head of the table, dog.
Dress like the head of the table. You don't have to be the board member, but you have to like figure it out.
TNC says Drew could attack Seth night 1 to set up night 2. It can't be during the matchup though. That doesn't make Rock and Roman look strong. It doesn't make sense for Drew's character. I can see Drew attacking Seth after the matchup to set up for night 2. But he doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't have to exert himself, and Seth is already being beaten up for night 2. So it doesn't make sense for him to attack him on night 1.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I necessarily don't agree with that.
And we got a super chat donation from Belle. Thank you so much, Belle. She says, I feel bad because I think SP3 went on a whole thing about my comment and I wasn't listening because of F1. So this is an apology. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's so nice. That's sweet. No, I only said, Belle, I think you're a very sweet woman. And I think that your sweetness allows you to give WWE way too much credit if you think that they are keeping Bayley off the graphic to build sympathy for her. You are giving them way too much credit of being smart and way too much credit of what they view Bayley as, because I don't think they view her as big of a star as you or I do. That's what I wasn't going on a whole rant. Don't worry, Belle. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, and then also I think when it comes to Bayley, remember she wasn't she the SmackDown Women's Champion for like over a year, and like that's almost never mentioned now. So it's like we kind of have always seen
during the pandemic.
Bayley.
Yeah, she held us down during the pandemic. Yo, she had 2 belts. That's
yeah,
true.
and it's like
they ain't giving Bayley. You gotta leave, boo.
he's like, well, she's gonna be there for a while because she did sign that extension, so
Yeah.
she's gonna be comfortable. At least she's
Damn.
getting paid for it, but. Anybody that thinks anything else is gonna happen with Bayley, I mean, she's gonna have a nice moment. Like she's probably gonna win it.
She's definitely gonna win it.
It's just it might overshadow other things. Might overshadow it, but
Other
you could remove the mic, my brother.
Right?
Bayley winning at WrestleMania, I don't think will be the third or fourth most important thing that happens that weekend.
No, it won't, and that's the sad part.
That's sad.
That is the sad part again, because it's so much other things happening that it's just like
so much of the focus is on Rock and Roman with them having both main events, and then you also got Rhea and Becky, which would be like second behind them. An extension of the whole Rock and Roman and Cody is the Bloodline, and then you got Jimmy and Jay. You got all the focus on Raw this week was about setting up the challenger for Gunther. Like I want like Raw has, they're doing a couple of things right now with Raw. They're building the Cody and Seth thing. They're building Seth and Drew. They're also building Becky and Rhea. Yet this episode of Raw this week was all about people gunning for Gunther. Like they gave that, like that was the overarching kind of story of the show. I want an episode of SmackDown that you can have your Bloodline stuff, but I want Bayley to be the focus of one episode, at least one.
Or have like multiple attacks happening. Like Bayley can't even get like something happening where it's just like someone is doing some backstage segments all about like her stuff happening to her, like a mysterious like thing falls down on her. You know what I'm saying? Like she still has a match later tonight or whatever, and she's still gonna come out like, you know, limping and all, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been saying that about because like even a while back, somebody tried to like start like a whole new like like the whole thing with like we want Cody. I remember somebody tried to start it with like we want Bailey, and
Right.
I mentioned straight up, I was just like she wasn't in the press conference. She hasn't been shown in the WrestleMania graphics. I was like, that's all I need to know of how
Right.
they're pursuing this. That's all I need to know.
Like WWE tells you stuff. You just gotta listen.
You have to watch and see the nuggets that they give you right before they even
Bianca
say
go
they're
out
going to
there.
do it.
Yeah, Bianca go out there and she didn't even really contribute to anything.
And she doesn't even have a match.
But I said this before. They could have put her in that segment with Rhea and Becky because she was going to be in the chamber.
Yep.
Like they literally just didn't even think about that. It was like Becky and Rhea's the match, so let's just do that.
And then but you add Nia.
Yeah, even Nia, you could have had Nia in that segment. Oh, just a missed opportunity.
There's a lot of missed opportunities.
Outside of the Rock, Roman, and Cody stuff, that press conference was a whole big missed opportunity.
Even though it was crazy because even though the interaction with Becky and Rhea was so great, it was just the host perspective of like, all right, this match is not even made official yet. Nothing is happening.
Right.
So
they didn't even have that was the teaser of it.
What
Yes.
are they going with? So in that aspect, I get it. It was just like it was an incredible interaction, but it was like, what do we do from here? Like, and then
they're just saying that you're not one of the top stars here. Our
Right.
top stars are Rhea,
And
Becky, and Bianca.
And then now Becky's probably gonna get her win back because I think she's facing Nia, right, on Monday.
Yes.
So she's probably getting her win back.
She's definitely getting a win back on that for that one because she lost the other time. So she's definitely her book is coming out in a week. Like we're not losing.
We ain't losing with my book coming out, B. But let's talk about we talked about the Rock SmackDown promo, but let's talk a little bit more about what he had to say on social media. Well, he's wearing slippers at his house for 21 minutes. The Rock posted a 20-plus minute promo to social media in which he takes shots at Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. He actually went into detail as well about the original plan for WrestleMania, responding to Rollins getting involved and told Cody bluntly, "Fuck your story."
Sam just said that though.
Taking credit for the popularity of wrestling in recent months, The Rock said, "It has been a big week. It has been a big week in the world of professional wrestling. It has been a big week in the world of the WWE. It has been a big week in the world of The Rock, in the world of the People's Champion, in the world of the Great One, in the world of the most electrifying man walking God's green earth, Daddy. It has been that kind of week." To quote the legend, one of The Rock's heroes, "What's causing all this? It's been that kind of exciting week. Pro wrestling is exciting once again. It's been decades. Pro wrestling is cool once again. It's been decades. Pro wrestling is undeniably exciting once again. It's unpredictable. It's disruptive because of one man, and that is The Rock. Because The Rock came into pro wrestling, came back to pro wrestling, a business that The Rock loves, an industry that The Rock was born into, took professional wrestling, turned it on his head, disrupted the shit out of it, and it will never, ever be the same again. It feels good. It feels so damn good. Whether you like The Rock or you don't like The Rock, it doesn't matter because it feels good." On Cody's story, he said, "Cody Rhodes, for you, the Cody Crybabies, for your new best friend, the walking clown emoji himself, Seth Rollins, and to your goofy ass dog. You all are advocates of Cody finishing his story. It's so important. Cody Rhodes, you took something from The Rock. You insulted my family. You took something from The Rock. You took something from Roman Reigns. You took something from the millions and millions and millions of true, real fans who wanted to see the biggest WrestleMania event of all time. You took it away. Now you're going to pay. Cody Rhodes, from the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story."
that was the best part of the 20 minutes. Another one. You took so long, you could have been said, "You know what, Cody?" He could have said something about Seth and the dog and say, "You know what, fuck your story," and just turned the live off and kept it pushing. That's all you needed.
Points.
You know,
points were
you know,
made.
you know when you go to a, you know when you have a meeting and that meeting could have been in an email. That was that.
Especially if you're going to do a 40-minute segment on the live show. You don't need a 21-minute promo to say some of the same lines.
Nope. Sure didn't.
Even not even the 40-minute segment, he was more like shitting on the crowd too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like in that aspect, I get it. Even though I think in a 21-minute promo, there was things that of course you can't say on TV. So that's why it made it I mean, both were great. And you know how I've been shitting on The Rock. They were all great.
Yes.
You can even ask SP3. When I was watching it yesterday, yo, I was laughing.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
it's
damn.
I
was like, damn.
come on.
This man's going in.
Like no one has ever had the quick wit of The Rock in wrestling.
Right. That's what it is. That's I think that's it. It's the quick wittiness of it all, like going, for it. And we don't have, like, I think at the age you kind of like think that you got to repeat it to like make it like get the pun in. You don't have to do that. It's okay. Like we got it and we understand what you're saying. We know where you're going with it. So it's fine. Fuck your story.
And crazy too. Like to me, this is just, and this is just me speaking. I think what they're doing now is probably better than what we would have gotten with Rock and Roman, like their segments. I think it's better now because again, we got The Rock being heel. Not only just being healed, but he's taking it to levels that we've never seen it before because now he's a board member. So
he's got more money.
It's not Hollywood Rock. This is not like corporate Rock. This is board member Rock.
Board member Rock. Right, so it's much better.
He found a way to amp it up. Mm-hmm. I've always given him credit to The Rock, regardless of how I felt about a lot of things. He's put in the work. And I've never taken that away from him. I've never, denied any of that stuff. It's just everything else when it comes to wrestling. I'm like, do I really want to see a 50-year-old guy wrestle who I know can't move? Like, that's where I come from when it comes to that. But if you're going to put him in a tag team match, I'm fine with it. And even if you would have done Roman versus Rock, I would have been fine with it if the circumstances and stories would have made sense.
Right.
I would have been fine. The Royal Rumble. Then everybody would have been fine with Rock and Roman if Cody didn't win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where I was coming from. I'm like, because honestly, I didn't expect Cody to win the Royal Rumble again, just because.
And I still am standing 10 toes down. I've said it here for weeks with y'all. Nick Khan and TKO didn't think Cody was gonna win either. That's why they didn't even communicate what was in the deal to Triple H.
Yeah,
because if I believe the Wrestling Observer report, apparently Triple H told Cody before he won the Royal Rumble that it was Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. And I'm sorry, that sounds dumb as fuck.
It does.
You're gonna win the Royal Rumble, but you're not gonna verse the champion at WrestleMania.
Like, so why am I winning?
What am
I winning for?
And then it's like, I know people were defending the whole thing with like, oh, but Seth and Cody is going to be a great match. That's not the point. Because not only that, but Cody's beaten Seth 3 times already. Why do I need a match for a rivalry that's already lopsided? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have made any sense. Like, at this point, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. We got a couple of super chat donations to read here. We got Will Chisholm with one. Thank you so much, Will. He says, who was more salty this week? Roman, Liv Morgan fans, or Maxine Dupri fans? We'll get to Maxine Dupri after we go over this week's Raw.
It wasn't
and I'm just gonna be real here. I'm gonna try to be the nicest I can say this. Okay. There's no such thing. So it's between Roman and Liv Morgan fans.
What's wrong with Liv Morgan fans?
By far.
Basically, they say Becky Lynch is over push and she shouldn't have won at Elimination Chamber.
Oh,
and that they want Liv. They want Liv to have the match at WrestleMania. They wanted to make it a triple threat.
I ain't got shit to say.
Everybody, Liv lost. She lost the Royal Rumble and she lost the Chamber. So you're telling me that you're gonna reward a loser? I don't think so. Like, that's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Let's just add Bianca in there for fuck's sakes. Why not?
If we're doing
she
that.
lost. She was in the Royal Rumble. She was down at the last minute too. Let's just let her let's add Naomi at it too. Yeah, I don't see anyone trying to push Naomi.
All the losers.
You mean to tell me you guys want to push Liv so goddamn bad, but yet Naomi just came back from being in another company because she left because she wasn't being treated properly. She comes back, loses the Royal Rumble, came in at number 1 or 2, loses that chamber, first one pinned. Gets a fuck thing yesterday from Tiffany Stratton. Let's just let all the fucking losers just in the damn matches then. Like I just don't understand. Why Liv Morgan deserves this more than Becky? Tell me why. I'll wait. Liv Morgan was injured. The fuck you mean? They're saying winner. She won the championship. Fuck out of here. No, thank you. I don't think so. Fuck it. No. Liv Morgan can wait like everybody fucking else.
You heard that, Liv Morgan fans? You heard that? You got Krssi Love upset on a Saturday. Acting silly. She
deserves it. I saw the graphic. I was like, who did this shit? Like we're pushing this. Like you're pushing Liv. Liv is good.
Yeah.
But can she? But is she one of the faces like the other ones that are being pushed? No.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I'll say it again. There are only 6 acts in WWE that are over right now on the women's division. There's Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, and there's quite a gap now between everybody else in those two. Then there's like Bianca, Bayley, Damage Control as a group because none of them individually are over. And unfortunately, for some people who are not going to like this, I wouldn't even put Liv number 6. I think Liv is a close 7. I think Nia Jax is now.
Nia's ahead of her.
It's more over than
Nia's ahead of her because Nia gets the heat, not only the heat, but
and you forget her family
positions where it makes sense, like her match with Rhea, her win over Becky. There's prominent position for her, like to be where she's at. Liv has just been losing. She's come back.
Even if we had to put Liv in there, even if you do put Liv in there, she's not winning. Like, I'm just telling you this right now, guys. Let's get this in your thick little skulls. She's not winning. I wouldn't even be mad if they said, let's put Tiffany in it. Okay, let's put Tiffany in it to give her more like matches and more strength. Like, let's give her more like push mainstream. I wouldn't even be mad at that.
And that'd probably be the better choice, to be honest with you.
It would be because you know what? She would at least carry both matches to make both of those two wrestle.
Yep. I agree. We got another super chat donation from the great Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Thank you so much, brother. He says, for the pot. Sorry, I'm late, y'all. Headed to the tattoo shop. Oh, nice. In some new ink. All right, I see you. I see you, Negro Buck.
And I promise you, it's not even like hate on Liv. I am not a hater on Liv Morgan. I promise you, I like Liv Morgan. I wish she was a tag team champion when she had her partner, which they never pushed.
Yeah.
I don't see y'all screaming about that shit. But whatever. All I'm saying is she's a star, but is she the star power to push this company like they have the other girls do? No, she's not.
No.
She's not even on the graphics.
No.
So before you even saying let's push for Liv, let me hear you start saying something for Bayley, okay? Because Bayley's not even, she's getting the shit under the stick right now. So before we start pushing other fucking girls, let's push the girls that we got right now.
We got Emmanuel. I love when Krssi Love goes on her rants. We got Emmanuel who says, what is Bianca doing at Mania?
Nothing right now.
I think it's gonna be Tiffany if they do something.
That she loses too, so she's gonna lose her streak?
No, I would have Bianca win.
Okay.
Like I said.
I mean, I don't know because she lost to Naomi, so I mean,
not only that, but I think Tiffany taking an L at Mania wouldn't hurt Tiffany, like in this situation. All Tiffany would have to do is just show the fuck out in the match. That's all that would need to happen. Now,
but they're both gymnasts, so I see the whole like gymnast fit girls doing a lot of like flips and dips and all this other stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, all she has to do is show the fuck out. It's only going to depend on the crowd reaction. Like if you have the crowd kind of turning on Bianca because of the outcome, maybe that might hurt it. But yeah, all she has to do is just what she did in Elimination Chamber. You do what you did, you show out, and that's all that's really gonna matter. Because then that's gonna show confidence within the company, like, oh yeah, we got somebody special here. Let's keep going with her. You know, and she has looked better in my opinion. I know she's athletic, but there was times, like even when I was watching NXT, like in her matches, that she looks kind of like when she moves like pretty slow to try to do like these flippy moves. But now she seems more confident, and I noticed that, like, so it looks better by doing that.
Agree there. We got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says the problem with SmackDown now is as long as The Rock is showing up on TV, he's taking all the time he wants. And who's going to say, hey, Rock, you went over time? Because every time he goes over time, it's an iconic segment. I'm sorry.
It is.
Like that was, like, as we called it, a 5-star promo that we saw last night on SmackDown. So you cannot, there's nothing you could do about that. Sorry to everybody else who got their time cut, but it's The Rock. That promo did more business for WWE than any of your matches, your entrances, your promos that got cut last night. The Rock did that in that 40 minutes.
I used to see when he's coming. Yeah.
Let's see here. Where is it at? We also got here though.
We still ain't got shit for Jade. Y'all all talking about damn Liv. Like,
Bro, you guys have no idea. I mentioned something so crazy. I'll bring it up when we're gonna talk about the whole Maxine stuff, because
like you guys are all talking like it. And I'm happy that people have fans that are so passionate. That's great.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. But let's just be honest with ourselves and say, hey, what are we doing here? I'm a big Beyonce fan, but I'm not rushing out to go buy her hair care products. You know why? Because I ain't never seen her real hair a day in my life. Let's just make it make sense, friends.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm not gonna spend my money like.
You got Estad who says, oh yeah, I know you've been shitting on The Rock. Laugh my ass off. That was definitely you guys. Like you, LOL, Rock out here. I mean, I never. Yeah, that was not me. That was me. He admitted that.
That was me.
That was only him.
That was me.
Your comment was all right until you said you guys. Stop grouping all minorities together. I'm a Rock fan.
I mean, and I've been saying it. So it's not like, hey, it's not like I hide it. And you know, like I mean, I still feel the same way I do feel about The Rock, but if he's being entertaining and he's being the team player, I mean, I'm gonna give credit when it's due, and that's what he's been doing. So I mean, like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shit on it. Am I gonna pretend like the last two things that he's done with the 21-minute promo and the 40-minute? am I gonna am I gonna pretend that it was shit just for the sakes of, oh, I hate The Rock? No, because I'm not one of those kind of fans. Like, that's just what it is.
And I think people don't give you credit when they do. Like, oh, you're just a hater. Like, no, I'm just telling you like how I feel. Don't hate him personally. I just hate where the character is going and what's happening with it. Doesn't mean I don't like that. You know, I think people misunderstand how it is as wrestling fans what we do. It's not. You gotta take it very seriously. We are very passionate about it. We promise you, but like, fuck it all. Like we still got 9 to 5s and shit. We still got other shit fucking happening in these days. I got kids. Like, if I ain't watch wrestling next day, it's okay. Like, I promise you. Like, sometimes I don't even know what be happening on the news until they say something. And I'm like, oh, that's happened? Like, I check out. Like, if I'm not watching the show, I'm not really checking into all the other shit like that. Like, I think people miss that this is fun. Like, it's supposed to be fun.
Wendy saying, why he gotta bring up Farrell though? Might have to send Prince to WrestleMania to set The Rock straight. Representing for the Cody crybabies. I love you, Wendy. You know. But we got another super chat donation here from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will, for the big super chat here. He says, I'm gonna be nice. I think fans like the theory of Liv Morgan. However, why can't her story start after Mania? Becky don't need another blonde making her matches a triple threat. Good point.
But
I
then
like
also,
that,
there's
Will
nothing there
Chisholm.
for
Thank you
Liv
so
right
much
now,
for
like,
that.
But that's the thing though. Like, there's like zero build up to anything when it comes to Liv. She's just been showing up in matches and she's been losing. There's nothing there. And then also, like, is it gonna be as interesting? Like, if you bring her up, like, is it gonna be as interesting as like what they did with Becky back when, you know, like when she got put into the triple threat match for WrestleMania? Like, is that gonna be more interesting? What they're gonna do? No. At this point, no, because there's nothing significant that's really putting her over. Like, yeah, she's likable, and I think a big part of it is because she's attractive. To be honest with you, that's about it. Yeah, she's gotten better in the ring, but like, what else is there? Like, if I have like 5, 6 other women who could do what she's doing better, they're the ones that are probably going to be put over higher than her. And that's where she's at right now.
It's true. We got here Mechanica who says, and that was your weekly Miss Krssi rant. You need to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annika. We appreciate you.
Estot, I told you this before. I called you out before. You gotta specify. It's online. It's not you talking. If you were talking and you say you guys, yes, then it can mean fans. But you wrote it, so I'm gonna take you guys as me because I'm the one reading the comments.
But then also, to be fair, SP3 was the one that was on board for The Rock.
I've been
for WrestleMania 40.
You can go
It was like
back.
last year. It was like last year.
I was the first guy on wrestling YouTube that said Cody should not win last year.
Right, you did. You really did. You said like there's no need for you to win again because it's like what happens after that part? Like, how do we get you to winning? Like you said, you don't have to win right now. It's okay. And that's why I didn't expect him to win the Royal Rumble, because it's like we had other guys that had stories that really didn't need being pressed by you. You'll get your chance. It's just like, do we need to see the whole finish your story 2 years in a row? It's bigger now than last year, like you did point out, yes. But because we have other supporting actors making it bigger.
Yeah, The Rock is the reason why it's bigger than last year. So it comes down. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science here,
and that's okay.
And I've also been one of the few people online that have really broached the subject that not a lot of people want to bring up of, does WWE know what to do after Cody finishes his story? Because I feel like not a lot of people are talking about that. I really feel like that is a real issue for them.
Yeah, and it's a mystery because it's like, where do you go from here after Mania? And and I think that's like a legit question, like a legit concern, because we really don't know. Do I think they'll find a way? You would hope so. Don't want to say yes. Also don't want to say no, because they have gotten better with a lot of things. So I'm in more of the wait and see category to see what happens, but it's a real concern. I mean, I think it's valid.
I think it's really valid, and I think it's something that they're probably continuously discussing now that set plans are set for WrestleMania 40. But it doesn't seem like plans are exactly set for the Bloodline, as we're gonna have someone new maybe joining the Bloodline. It was announced this week. WWE is set to sign a very prominent free agent in Tama Tonga from New Japan Pro Wrestling, according to reports from Dave Meltzer and Fightful Select. Prior to his time in NJPW, Tonga began his career in All Japan Pro Wrestling under the names of King Tonga, Haku, and Ming. He later joined the Bullet Club in NJPW, where he teamed up with AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. During his time in New Japan, Tonga held the IWGP Tag Team title 7 times with Tonga Loa, and also won the Never Openweight title on 4 occasions. They recently put Hikuleo and Phantasmo with manager Jado serving as the referee. That was his final matchup GOD versus GOD at New Beginning in Sapporo. And WWE has been keeping a close eye on Tonga for quite some time. Tama has been with New Japan Pro Wrestling for almost 14 years and recently concluded his tenure with a tag team match alongside his brother Tonga Loa. According to the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Tonga could be considered to join the Bloodline somewhere down the line. Yes, Tama Tonga is the adopted son and actual nephew of Haku. Both are Tongan wrestlers and not related to the Anawai family by blood. However, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, he is considered quote-unquote family by The Rock and Roman Reigns, and the idea of him joining the faction has been considered.
Man, you know how many black people got extra cousins that's not our cousins? Knock that shit off. Stop it. It's like, you know how many Spanish people that's my cousin. Like, we grew up together. We're not brother and sister, so we call each other's cousins. Like, knock it off, people. That's why I can't go to the restroom yet until we go through this storyline, because I knew you was going to do all of this.
But no, it is true. That's how minorities work.
That's how we work. It's like, if you don't know word to the wise friend, like, we're all related somewhere or another. Like, yes, that's Haku. We're all in the bloodline. Like, we're all family some kind of way. That's a cousin from another cousin from this cousin. All right, man, come on over. We gonna play this game. Like, you spend a night? Okay, yes, my other cousin from over there. Like, sure. Like, that's how it works. Like, it goes down the line of everyone.
Yeah, that's how it works. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tama Tonga joins the Bloodline. I think that's the better option for him. I know there were some people that was like, oh, they got all these original members of the Bullet Club. I am sorry. It doesn't matter if it is Vince McMahon in charge, Triple H in charge, Jerry Jarrett in charge, JJ Watt in charge. It does not matter. This company does not do other people's ideas very well.
They don't.
They just never have.
And mind you, they have three leaders there now, and they still ain't doing it. Three former leaders are all there.
Yeah.
Brought the club to high heights. And they said, you know what? Nope, we're not doing it here. Nope, we don't like it. It's not our idea. But they did the NWO, so I'll make it make sense.
But they did that horribly. So like they have never done other people broken math. They have never done other people's ideas very well. So I don't want to see that. I'd rather him join the Bloodline. You're right. You are right, friend. That's true, because they would really they would fuck it up. Where do you think Tama Tonga starts out in WWE, Josh?
NXT.
No.
I can see that.
That's a stab. No. Can't do it. I mean, you got Gallus and Anderson back over there. I mean,
and they're teasing that they're not going to be the only ones coming to NXT. So,
now, if you did that, I'm fine with that part. Like, if you had the whole back and forth, like Baron Corbin is doing great over there, but if you do like the whole back and forth, like, make it make sense.
But then also, I want to add to the whole Bloodline stuff that was mentioned by them. It's more of opinion. It's not an actual report. So I know there's people who are running with it as an actual report. It's just more opinion based, just so you keep that in mind. So if it doesn't happen, you can say, "Oh, you were wrong." It's like, no, it was.
He said they're considering it.
Oh,
he's very You gotta listen to the reports. Yeah, a lot of people will hear that report and not hear the consider right. Yeah. They was like, y'all said Tama Tonga's going to join the Bloodline. I specifically always make sure I'm reading these reports word for word. It has been considered.
Right.
Yeah, so people got to be careful with that, because if it don't happen, then you can't say, hey, this is what it was like. Really, was it reported saying that it was going to definitely happen? No, but I really think he starts at NXT. You could start him at NXT. I mean, I love Tama, but you know, he's always been in the position where he hasn't been the biggest star. He's been mid-carder to a tag team specialist. Like, that's always been his role, right? And I think I'm okay with saying that, because that's what we've been getting from him.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get anything major. You could, like, if you bring him to the main roster, then yeah, maybe like the bloodline stuff would help, because if he's just there solo by himself, it's not going to do much for him.
Right.
You
You have to put him with the players.
you would need to put him in the state. So it's either going to be with Gallows and Anderson or with the bloodline. I think
I wouldn't
really
be putting with Gallows and Anderson.
That's always how he's been presented. So if you try to give him like this weird singles kind of run, it's not going to gel well, because New Japan got away with that because, again, he was in the tag team forever. So by the time he went solo, it was he was familiar. You knew his work, stuff like that. WWE, he can't get away with that.
It's true. We got in the chat, Mongolian Mike. Thanks for joining us. He says, I think if any family shows up, it will be on the Raw after Mania. I could see that. And we got another super chat donation from the great Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. You guys are killing it today. We appreciate all the support. Keep it coming in as we're about to move into Monday Night Raw from this week. He says, a lyrics way, I'm cool with Tama Tonga going to NXT. He has to, the only way I'm cool with Tama Tonga going to NXT, he has to win the NXT title, make him a big deal. I can agree with that. You got to make him a big deal. Yeah. If he is you had this free agency this year. You had Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, Kashiko Okada, all available to you. You expressed interest. You made multiple platforms know that you had interest, all for you to sign Shawn Spears and Tama Tonga. You gotta make these guys a big deal now.
Yeah. They basically just got like utility players. That's basically what they got into the free agent market. That was pretty big, and they got none of them. Like,
but it's also the fact that WWE didn't need any of them.
No, they didn't. And even these guys, they technically didn't need them either. No. So it's like, but if you're gonna get some, I mean, it's like, Eric, if you compare the both, like. The sheet itself is like Mercedes blows both the guys out of the water either way. I mean, just her alone, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it's crazy.
We got a bunch of people in the chat. Keep coming with those comments. Keep coming with those super chat donations. One final note from SmackDown this week. Like we were mentioning earlier, the reasons for all the blackouts and audio cuts during the Rock segment, it was subject to random blackouts on the show. It's reportedly due to a fan sign. Fox blacked out the feed at certain points during the show, and PW Insider reports that the decision was made by the network due to a fan with a Die Rocky Die sign in the audience. It should also be noted that the UK feeds were available without any edits. Watch Wrestling has some good links. Just putting that out there. Not going to give you the complete address because then that's going to fuck up my game. But yes, Watch Wrestling has the feed if you're looking for it. But that is all for SmackDown. Moving on to Monday Night Raw very quickly here. Monday Night Raw did 1,738,000 fans this week, viewers for the show. And the show featured the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, defeating Grayson Waller in the main event. Post-match, Paul Heyman interrupted to ask Cody to renege his challenge to The Rock, but Rhodes refused. He beat up a couple of Heyman's hired security with a steel chair before proclaiming that he was hunting the bloodline now. Meanwhile, you had Drew McIntyre, who tried to convince Seth Rollins
he doesn't need to be a part of this.
to stay out of Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, and Bloodline business. He said if SmackDown was on fire and I was the world champion, I wouldn't piss on them. But Rollins stated that beating the Bloodline was bigger than the both of them and that it was worth the risk. He also had to set up WrestleMania. Becky Lynch had confronted Rhea Ripley in a fun opening segment until she was attacked by Nia Jax. Later on in the night, Nia won a matchup against Liv Morgan via disqualification after Becky got involved. Then that sets up Nia versus Becky on Raw next week. Sami Zayn got his first big win on the road to WrestleMania, getting some redemption against Shinsuke Nakamura, and then got into an interesting backstage confrontation with the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. This was all the raise of the night. Everybody gunning for Gunther as several superstars took aim like the Judgment Day, who confronted him in the ring in a very good promo segment, teasing that Dominic Mysterio would step up from the Judgment Day to face Gunther. And he also had Chad Gable later on in the night say that he wanted opportunity at Gunther because it just means more. And then finally, you had the New Day versus Imperium in a great street fight with Imperium picking up the upset win over the New Day, basically winning the rivalry. Very surprising. I thought New Day had that one.
Right.
That was a great match, though.
That was a good street fight. I think that when it comes down to it, the New Day can definitely give you all in all when they need to be called on. Like, okay, guys, I need you to do this. Okay, sure, no problem. We'll go out there and we'll show our like they know when they understand their assignments basically. Yeah. Even if they're going to take the L, they still I feel like came out as like winners because they gave a solid match for them. Like, I mean, what's the win going to do for them anyway? They're not going for tag titles anyway, so it's like it's cool. Like, I mean, I was very shocked as you were, but I think solid match overall. Like one of the matches of the week. I can top mentions for sure.
Yep.
Sorry.
No. I'm spoiler alert for me too. It's in my
okay. Because they were cooking. I honestly thought they would main event, but once you found out like it was Cody and fine, whatever.
Yeah, but that match was not worth main eventing. So thankfully they had Paul Heyman on stage. I was like, this is not a
It's
Raw
not.
main event.
It shouldn't have been. It could have been an opening of the show, or even like a mid, but they didn't have to. I don't think that they should have given that for them to close out. I would have preferred the street fight to close it out, but whatever.
Yeah. We also got here another super chat donation from the great Will Chisholm. Thank you so much. Well, he says the thing is Triple H has been a Tama Tonga and God mark. He's been trying to get them for like 8 years. He has been wanting to get them for a while. I think ever since he saw them at Madison Square Garden on the G1 Supercard, he's been trying to get them.
Yeah, and he acts like he doesn't watch it, but he be watching.
He be watching.
He be watching. You got subscriptions. Like, you be paying for these shows. Like, you gonna watch Sting's last match? Tell me you're not. Tell me you're not watching that. Boy, you lying to yourself.
He's like, all right, he's gonna tell his daughter. He's gonna sit with his daughter. I remember when I beat him at WrestleMania 31.
Well, he shouldn't have, but whatever.
Facts. Annika saying, just please let Cody be a better bloodline hunter than Kaz was a bloodline elite hunter. That was so bad. That's one of the worst gimmicks AEW ever did. Frankie Kazarian elite hunter.
Oh,
didn't even last like more than a day. All right, guys, it's time to talk about why fans suck this week. WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley and other wrestling stars have responded to a clip on social media that has gone viral, where fans are booing and heckling Alpha Academy member Maxine Dupri at a Road to WrestleMania live event. The video in question has a caption that reads, and I quote, "This poor girl is getting booed at a house show for trying to get better? Wrestling fans suck." Rhea Ripley wrote on the heckling, and I quote, "I really wish that some of you got booed and ridiculed in the public eye while being new at your job. Learning and getting better is all part of being human. Be better as humans." Chelsea Green later replied, "Couldn't have said it any better." Becky Lynch came out and showed her support, posting from last year, where she said that if she could pick anyone to be her tag team partner, it would be Maxine Dupri.
Get the fuck out of here. I know she
Natalia posted a picture of her and Maxine. Multiple wrestlers. Jade Cargill also mentioned that as someone that has been learning on the job since day one, it's nice to see all this outpouring of support for Maxine Dupri. I mean, Krssi Love, what do you feel about all of this? Before I give him, I've already gave him some of my thoughts on AE Ramble this week, as I was very much confused on this whole thing becoming a big point of contention and discourse this week. But what was your thoughts on the video and the feedback from it? You're muted.
Sorry, friend. Okay. From the video itself, it looks like these are people just trying to get likes and retweets. Just assholes in themselves. Now, I did not see or hear the part when she was in the ring that they were booing her. Was she being booed by the people when she left the ring? Like what was
she was getting booed by the fans when she was leaving the ring?
That's unfortunate. I per se wouldn't have booed her because again, this is someone that's trying to get it. But I mean,
so what would you do?
I wouldn't have said anything.
That's worse.
I would have went to the bathroom.
But that's my thing. Like the whole reaction and
so you rather us boo you or have silence? Silence is worse than being booed. At least people are watching. I mean, I don't know.
Silence is worse. And everything that I have learned from wrestling has been one thing. The one rule that I always heard is that as long as the fans react, you're doing a good job.
Okay, so if they boo you, that means you can be a great heel.
But this is the thing. This is the thing of why this became a point of contention is that it's like multifaceted. But number one, it does not make any sense to get mad at fans for booing. If someone is not good at their job, how do you want someone to react? I will tell you, Rhea Ripley, I am a huge fan of you. I think you're very talented. I've even interviewed you before. I have been booed and ridiculed at my job while still learning. And I deserved it. So why are you getting mad at anyone who boos someone who admittedly is not very good, yet has been in this company for 2 years and only wrestled 12 fucking matches? Why is she's not even ready to be on the main roster house shows? Those house shows are doing anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 people. And they went up there and I waited till I started my rant to tell you who WWE decided to put her in a match with. Her ass that had some of the worst moments in the Royal Rumble. So that's one of the fans that were like, oh, it's the house show. You're supposed to be learning on the house shows. You gonna act like she wasn't in the Royal Rumble?
Bullshit. You're
right. That's bullshit. Okay, she was in the Royal Rumble. So no, get out of here with that. If this was just house shows that she was bad on, then you could be like, guys, come on. React like that. Give her time. No, they have put her on national TV
several times.
Put her on premium live events. She is not that good. She's really bad.
Who did she go against?
This is a $1 billion company with a performance center and developmental that does smaller house shows, yet you're putting her in front of 10,000 people. How the fuck are we mad at the fans? This is on the company.
Who was she going against?
Nia Jax.
Are you fucking kidding me? I know y'all fucking lying. Well, that's what I mean. You're going against Nia Jax. Nia Jax should have been done in 10 seconds like Braun Breaker was. Like, I mean, what are we doing? This is where it gets fuzzy for me. Like, yeah, we already know, like, she's very, very, very green. But like you said, why are you putting her in the Royal? You're pushing her down our throats. Like, you want us to like her. And that's perfectly fine. But we can't like what we don't like. So they have a right to boo at people. If her quality of wrestling is not good, I'm not going to applaud it. I was just going to go to the bathroom. Oh, this is a filler match.
Going to the bathroom, turning your back, going away, that is actually worse than booing.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that's what I would have done. I'm sorry. I just was like, okay, let me just give me a soda really quickly because I don't want to miss the next match. Oh, let me just go pee, let me go see what, maybe, no, better yet, this is where the merch line is like, the line is like really, really low because everybody's inside. This is where I go to the merch line. Because, when you first get there and when you're leaving, you can't get anything from the merch line. So you got to go like during the middle where there's like fillers. This was a filler match for me to go get merch.
And then my also point that I wanted to make, Great comment here. He says, my question is, who Maxine related to? She got hella support, like she got a clout. I will tell you what Jimmy McIntyre told me, and it made perfect sense. They only doing this because she's a skinny white girl, a white blonde girl. Because they didn't keep this energy for Jade Cargill, who's been learning since day one. They didn't keep this energy for Nia Jax when she was hurting people. And y'all were saying some disgusting things online with your hatred and vitriol. They ain't saying none of this for Madison Rayne just a couple of weeks ago when she botched and dropped on her head. They were ridiculing her, saying that she shouldn't be wrestling anymore. Hell, another white blonde girl they wasn't keeping the same energy for. Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke.
Yes, Dana Brooke actually is kind of better than Maxine Dupri.
She is.
And Dana Brooke never gave up. She tried her best.
Josh, any thoughts on this whole situation here?
Well, I mean, you put it perfectly on a lot. So, I mean, not much to say, but I think it's blown way out of proportion the way it's gotten. We've all known she's terrible in the ring. But then also the company knows she's terrible in the ring. So a big part of this is on WWE. But also what doesn't make any sense to me, at least, and this is something that brought up this week, was that they're so heavy on they wanting Jade Cargill to be so-called ready, right? They want her to be ready. They basically put the blame on AEW, like, oh, it wasn't her fault that she wasn't trained properly, right? So you're keeping her off matches for what? She was signed when was it she was signed?
She was signed in 2022. So the fact that she's had 12 matches is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And that's not embarrassing for her. That's embarrassing for the company. If you want her to wrestle, how has she been in this company for 2 years and only had 12 matches?
Yeah. And that's where it's kind of like, oh yeah, you keep somebody like Jade off TV because you want to be ready, but yeah, Maxine, who's not even close to being that, was probably never going to be good. You have her do Raw matches, you have her in the Royal Rumble, and now you have her working house shows. But yeah, someone like Jade, oh no, we want her to be ready. We want her to be ready. She's working nothing, basically. That's a big discrepancy, in my opinion, when it comes to that. That's weird. That comes off very strange. But in regards to like her colleagues defending her, I get it, right? You want, of course, they have her back. I think that's a good thing.
That's good,
right?
That's a good thing.
But I also think that there needs to be some kind of transparency when it comes to that, because like the shit Becky said, oh, I'll have her as my tag. That's fucking cap. I know she's lying about that. That's her being nice. That's her being nice. There's no fucking way you could convince me that you want her to be your tag team partner. I'm sorry. That's bullshit to me.
It's just something to say.
Right?
It's something to say that you
just say something fucking out.
It's just something to say because you know that you can't make that happen, and it sounds real great.
Yeah, but it's just like, what? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that shit like that. That's what I mean. Like, it's okay to defend people, but it's just like, come on, don't sit here and just flat out just fucking lie. And then the other thing with Rhea about like, I'm like, yo, there's people who get mad at us all the time when you don't do a good job. We've seen people in fast food restaurants, when they don't do a good job, people go in a fucking uproar. Yeah. We see this every fucking day. But then also the actual footage itself, I think it's blown out of proportion because, again, there was a few fans who were booing. Let's not act like it was fucking Dominic Mysterio heat.
Yeah,
it got booed out of the building. We had a handful of people booing, and then you had that one fan said,
that one fan in the back that wanted the likes and subscribe. Like, get out of here with that.
But like one fan said, Maxine, you suck. Never come back. And I literally, Krssi, I put out on Twitter, I put a simple tweet because I was very confused. I was like, hey guys, so now fans are not supposed to boo if someone is not good at their job. I'm confused. So can someone explain to me what is wrong with booing someone who is not good at their job? And people said, It's not the boo. I had multiple people say it's not the booing. It's saying things like Maxine never come back. I was like, but that's like one person in the video. Like it's like you grouped all the fans together, and nobody is saying you shouldn't ridicule. Everybody keeps saying booing and ridicule. You shouldn't boo or ridicule. Which one is it? Like, because I mean, they boo Dominic all the time, and no one says a thing. But Dominic can't even get a word out. I'm gonna be like, yo, he's just trying to get better at talking, and y'all are booing him. I'm going to WWE shows and be like, you should be nicer to Dominic Mysterio. You should be, because he's trying to get his promo out, and he can never get it done because you guys boo, and even when he talks more, you boo even louder. So
even so, right? Like what the fans said, was it something that I would do? No, but was it as like horrific or horrible? Like, was it really bad? No, it really was not.
I think they're missing. I think they're putting their anger at the wrong people.
Yes, but that's the thing, though. Wait, so this comment, you don't want to rush it. How long she's been there signed already, and you're presenting her as this big signing, and she's had one appearance. Like, she has one fucking appearance. Like, let's cut the bullshit right now. Let's cut the bullshit.
And Jimmy made a good point that, of course, Triple H sees more value in Jade Cargill than he sees in Maxine Dupri. But that is now you're basically putting out a public indictment of your training on national TV.
Yes.
Like so for the people that aren't optimistic about them taking their time with Jade, you shouldn't be optimistic because you see the training right.
Yeah, that like you're basically saying that we shouldn't put all of our pride into Maxine, but waiting for Jade, because Maxine is just a filler. Because that's what I'm getting.
But by showing us Maxine every week or every other week, you are telling us that we shouldn't expect Jade to be that much better than what she was. That's what you're telling us.
And to me, what's also going to be a problem is that if Jade goes out there and Jade is the same way in the ring, that's also going to be another problem. But not only just with the cup, but it's going to be a problem for Jade herself, I think. I mean, I hope that that's not the case. But if you're saying that you're taking your time, you're doing this, you're doing that, but yet you're presenting her as this big signing, at some point, she's going to have to start doing the work. You know what I mean? Like, you hired her as to be a wrestler. Now you're going to want her to be a fit or be like a publicist. Hire her for that. To me, it's starting to come off like that, because it's like, all right, you hired her to be a wrestler. Where's the wrestling? That's all I'm saying. But the reason why I'm comparing the two, like, the star power is not even close. But it's like, if one person's going out there and they're wrestling, they're getting reps in, why is the other person, like, at this point, you're presented as a big star? Why she's not doing the same thing, right? So now if you bring her out there and she's the same way, that's a problem. Like, but
they're not going to boo her, though. That's the thing.
They're not. They might not boo her, but then it's going to get to a point that it's like, oh, maybe Jade was never that good to begin with. And that could be a real problem. Yeah. This is something I've been saying for a while. Like, I have nothing against Jade because she looks like a fucking superstar, right?
Right.
She's like a fucking superhero.
Yes, she does.
But if your whole aspect of, again, you want her to be ring ready, better than when she was in AEW, but if she's the same way, then it's like, all right, maybe this is somebody who's not going to get better.
And you guys have been holding her hostage, I feel like she's on all this press tours. Like, we only seen her at the Rumble.
It's fine, but it's like,
it's fine. Like, when are we going to like let her out? Like, let her get better. Like, she can practice as much, but it's like, if she's not doing star quality stuff in the ring, like, what are we saying?
And literally, what I got in some people in response in defense of Maxine is, well, she's got to get her reps. That's the best way to get better. It's in front of an audience. Well, Jade Cargill, we'll put her out there. How about you put Maxine? You put Maxine on the fucking. You put Maxine on the fucking coconut loop for NXT. Go to Laredo and all those places in Florida, and put Jade Cargill on the house shows in the main roster. How about that? That might make her better. So stupid.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like, come on, like, what are we doing here when it comes to that? That's all I'm saying. It's just you're saying that one person needs reps. We're saying that Jay doesn't need reps, but yeah, she needs she needs more training. She needs to be more ready. Like the fuck, you know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. Regardless of the star power, you still need reps as a wrestler, as a talent. You still need reps to be better. And just because you're performing in the performance center and you're training, that's not the same as a live crowd. And she hasn't had that. She had that once. And yes, it was the Royal Rumble, and they presented her like a badass because she eliminated Nia single-handedly. But then you can get away with that with the Rumble because there's multiple women working in the Rumble. And then we haven't seen her since. We only seen her as fucking Nick Aldis is trying to.
Well, no, she was on SmackDown.
No. I mean, as that's what I'm saying. But we only seen her in the capacity of Nick Aldis is trying to sign her. Yeah, that's about it. That's the only thing
we haven't seen her on Raw. So it's like, what's happening?
I mean, if Nick Aldis don't sign her, then he don't look like a damn fool.
He gonna look like an idiot at this point. We got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Of course, thank you so much, Will. He says, it's a problem because she's a blonde white woman. And people can't say the real about her. Take her ass to the PC. Exactly. You spend millions of dollars for a fucking PC, and you keep a woman that was on national TV for 2 years in the PC, and you put a woman that never spent more than a month in the PC in front of 10,000 people on house shows. That's what's been so bad. It's been the combination of people's response to this whole thing and the company. What is the company thinking? That is just baffled me.
And also, like, her no-sells have been, because I remember, like, even the week before the booing, there was another clip where she took like Nia's finisher, the thing that she does on the turnbuckle net,
and she was stiff as a board,
and she didn't no color. She just stood there. She just laid there. She was stiff as a board. And this was before the booing, but yet nobody said a thing. Nobody said a thing about that. But then once the booing started happening, oh, you guys are mean. Like, she's trying. Come on, guys. No, the fuck she's not. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. That's not trying. That's not trying to be better at your job. So you're gonna get booed. And again, the booing wasn't.
I know what she be doing. She's doing TikTok videos with Nia Jax and other girls. That's what they do.
And that's fine. I mean,
that's perfectly fine. And she's helping a lot of. She helps a lot of girls with their outfits outside of the ring, like their wardrobe. Like I'm guessing she does a lot of, like, she's done, like, you know, PR, which, like, with looks and everything. Like, she's helped Nia Jax. Like, she's doing, like, other things with most of the girls, which is perfectly fine because it looks like she comes from that world. But, like, be an asset to, like, what you know, and then bring it to the ring, I feel like.
Man, you know she's not good. Don't throw her out there at this point.
I mean, well, that's
like, just don't throw her out there. Like, have her to be like where she's been. Like, she's the manager. You know, she's been with Alpha Academy. Just have her just be a manager. That's it.
It's not that hard. There's just some people that are just better at managing and being a valet. Brooklyn Bleak says, if she's incompetent in the ring, then that could lead to another wrestler's injury or worse. The audience judgment should act as a motivator, if anything. Exactly.
I mean, it should be, but then remember what happened with Nia, it's like almost nothing ever happened when she was injuring people. So it's like, I get that aspect and I agree with it, but it's like, that's not always the case because we've seen it with Nia. Nia has injured multiple women. They almost never acknowledge it. They never seem to, like, they kind of brush it under the rug. And, you know, and it's true. Like, she injured Bayley before. She injured Charlotte. She injured Kyrie, busted her head open. I mean, it's a, you know, thankfully her second run, she hasn't done that. But there's been several incidents in the past that where people get injured and you see somebody's unsafe. You know, there's no acknowledgement to that. I mean, as in, like, all right, we need to put you back in the PC. You need to get better. Until then, you're going to be kept off of TV. I think that's the approach that they should start doing if it gets to that point. But they're not going to do it with one person. Then it's like, at this point, it's like, you know, it's going to fall on deaf ears.
Yeah. We got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. You to go. Well, you've been killing it as always when we're here on the flagship. We missed you last Sunday. We missed you so much. Will says, I was never a fan of Eva Marie, but the stuff fans used to say about her was crazy. She didn't get that type of love from wrestlers. Exactly. That was another person I mentioned yesterday, Will, on Thursday on AE Ramble. I was like, Eva Marie used to get demolished.
Oh, yeah,
That was the
I
beginning
think
of
worse.
social media
Right,
and wrestling.
right.
She would get demolished. Like, people would tell her to end her life because she wasn't good at wrestling. Yet, like Maxine, like I feel Maxine is a main roster ready manager or valet.
Yeah.
Eva Marie was a main roster ready look. I can't say wrestler, I can't say manager, I can't say ballet. I don't know if she was good at any of those things, but her look was main roster ready. But they still put her out there to be bad.
Look at Mandy. Look at Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is a good example. She was god awful.
Yeah. But
they sent her over to NXT and she turned lemon into lemonade and she got better with the help of what the girls groups was.
Toxic Attraction.
There we go. Thank you. Besides her other activities off out of the ring, she got better at the things that she needed to do. But again, she wasn't good in the beginning, but they didn't boo her because she had a look, because she was sexy. Yeah. I guess that she doesn't have the assets that they like that will not make them.
But with Mandy too, she did have like an athletic background because remember, she was in the Tough Enough season and she was their best woman.
Right.
She just didn't win it because it was a fan vote.
Stupid.
So it's like, but I mean, like you do have a good point. But when it comes to Eva Marie, I think part of it too was that WWE kind of presented her as a shitty person because remember Total Divas?
They made her be like the villain because the Bellas never liked her anyway.
So she never had never a good perception of her, and that's why people trashed her.
Yeah.
So when you're very unlikable and then you're trash at your job, that's a bad combo.
And from everything we've seen, Maxine is a very nice person.
She goes to all of like the school events. Like she does a lot of like the charity stuff for them. Like she's on that team and she's always there with them. And she does all of the stuff. So she's saying, I'm not doubting that she's not a nice person. It's just that she probably needs more work and she's not excelling as they would like her to. So they put on house shows. Great. But if you can't be mad at fans for booing something that they don't like a product of. If I don't like something, I'm not buying it. But if I'm spending my money, and what do you expect people to do? So
to put a bow on this whole topic,
I'll pin in it.
I'll put one thing for now. Like we'll pin. Hopefully I'm putting a bow on it. I don't want to put a pin in it because that means we're gonna pull the pin out and we got to talk about this shit again. And I don't want to talk about getting upset at fans for booing. Like that was the stupidest shit I think I've seen in quite some time on wrestling social media. I would say put a bow on it.
Oh, look at this guy.
This guy's here. Krssi just made special guest appearance, baby.
That's coming. Hey, oh my God. Hi, boys. Where is Kane?
My man.
Where's Kane? Let me see Kane.
You want to get in? Want to say hi?
Hi, Kane. Hi, cutie pie. How are you? I'm Auntie Krssi. You don't really know me, but you do know me. You know I'm here or whatever.
Tru Heel Heat's for the kids. Say Tru Heel Heat's for the kids.
It's Tru Heel the kids.
Yay!
Wait.
Bye.
This is not a kid. This is not a kid. Not a kid.
No. He said, love the running. See, that put a bow on it. I don't even need to talk about what I was gonna say because I forgot.
Okay.
Love the running. Thank you, guys. We got a bunch of people very happy to see the kids running. Well, other news besides people getting upset at fans booing. John Cena was in the news this week. The Wrestling Observer newsletter had an update on whether or not John Cena will make an appearance at this year's WrestleMania 40. It was noted that Cena is set to film the second season of Peacemaker soon, so his appearance depends on his acting schedule. There has been talk in WWE of a possible appearance if he is available. However, he likely wouldn't get too physical, as that would be a risk to his acting work. If he does show up, it will be to do something quote-unquote fun, short, and memorable, and also with substance. So not losing to Grayson Waller. Okay, cool. I think you're muted again, Krssi. I would say that wouldn't be a good use of John Cena. Then final news though before we wrap up WWE with NXT. No heat. During last week's edition of WWE Raw, Gunther retained the Intercontinental title against Jey Uso. According to a report by WrestleVotes, multiple people in WWE were under the impression that Jey Uso was going to win the Intercontinental title on last week's show. WrestleVotes also reported, I'm told that as of 6 p.m., there was the direction on various show rundowns within the creative and digital departments. Fightful Select has an update on the rumored plan. According to Fightful's update, the information that Jey Uso was going to win the title was relayed to a couple of people. However, it said that Jey Uso actually winning the title was never actually the plan that night. Gunther is currently the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion at 625 days and counting. Sorry, Jey Uso. Yeah, there was no chance you were going to.
There's no, like, that's what I was like, how, Sway, how? Like, what? What are we saying? Like, not yet. No, like, Gunther is still going. Like, people, fans kill me, but okay, sorry.
Never fails. And then finally, NXT this week, they did 570,000 viewers, very much down. But the show featured Tony D'Angelo interrupting Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes' NXT Championship contract signing for Roadblock. You also had to make it a #1 contenders matchup between the two men coming up at Roadblock next Tuesday, with the winner versus Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver coming up in April during WrestleMania weekend. You also had the OC have their in-ring return to NXT, defeating Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. They also had a conversation with the Wolf Dogs backstage. Big title change on the show. Charlie Dempsey, the son of William Regal, he won the
That's who that is?
Yes. He won the NXT Heritage Cup by defeating Noam Dar in a good main event matchup. But the most noteworthy thing probably from WWE NXT in a long, long time, Shawn Spears has returned to the WWE, making a shocking comeback, attacking Ridge Holland from behind with the steel chair. He had the whole AEW Shawn Spears chairman presentation, the spotlight, the steel chair, the hood over his head. This was a really good segment, complete with this whole AEW gimmick. I was quite surprised. It said a lot. It's saying a lot at the 3 examples that we have of Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, and Shawn Spears of how WWE has taken something that was done in AEW and just seamlessly is doing it like they like
El Idolo as well.
El Idolo is Andrade El Idolo. They named him El Idolo. Yeah, that's 4.
Oh, word. They did use that whole name. Like they used. Right.
So that's four acts from AEW that they have just taken and just seamlessly used the same thing in WWE. So for all that I said about WWE not using other people's ideas, they seem to be more open to it more than ever.
So that means that they can do the Bullet Club, but they just have to execute it the right way then.
Oh, I have no faith. They tried that way too many times.
No, well, they never tried it. They kept calling it the club. That's why they kept doing it wrong.
No, they did the club, the OC.
They did the Balor Club.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'm over this. Let's move on, please. Following up with the Shawn Spears return on NXT, a new report had some details on his return to the WWE. Fightful Select's Corey Brennan had some details on his return to the company and the NXT brand. According to the report, Spears' return was kept very, very quiet and few people in the company were actually aware of his return. Spears was not listed in internal documents as recently as the show going live at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Holland's promo only had a quote man listed as being part of it, and Shawn Michaels filled Spears' role in rehearsals earlier in the day. According to one source, Spears was signed to a deal sometime before the first vignette aired at Vengeance Day. Spears was hidden backstage before his appearance, and his return was well received. And as noted on commentary, he will be referred to as Shawn Spears. Sources indicated that the site that Shawn Spears was let out of his AEW contract early so he could return to WWE. Look at AEW doing right by these folks. But these folks don't do right by them.
That's the part. That part right there.
Damn shame. Final note from NXT. This weird-looking guy is Nick Banana. He is a former member of the NXT creative team. He has left the company this week. According to PW Insider, he made his exit following the most recent television tapings 2 weeks ago. Bono had been part of the company since April 2022. And you're a handsome man. I lied. He's a handsome fellow, right?
That's not a good picture of him, but okay.
He has a very punchable face.
Hey, that part. Something just screams asshole.
Jesus, damn. Yo, it's Eston got a good idea here. He was like, AEW gonna have to start copyrighting ring names.
I mean, they
as much as that I would like that, but
I just feel like they should just use their names and just like let them go wherever they need to go. Like, I mean, these people, they have to make money some kind of way. Let their names be their names. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless they actually did come up with it. But if those people came up with their own name, let them use their names and let them go wherever they need to go. That's not how it works.
Wrong. Yeah, this chat is so wrong. Damian Hernandez said Mr. Bean's twin.
Well, that's true.
He did look like Mr. Bean twin, yep.
Annika says Pete Herman's nephew.
That's the one right there. Damn.
Y'all are wrong.
See, I just say he had a punchable face. They literally saying like he looked like
they roasted him now.
Like, yo, dang.
AEW Dynamite this week was the go-home show ahead of AEW Revolution. So we're into the Converse now. And what a show ending. The show featured Sting's final appearance on Dynamite as he came down from the rafters for the first time in nearly 25 years to help make the save for Darby Allin and Ric Flair against the Young Bucks to close the show. You also had Hangman Adam Page lied and told us that he wouldn't compete at AEW Revolution, only to be provoked by Strickland, reminding him that he threatened his infant child and attacked Swerve with a crush from behind ahead of Revolution. In a great opener to the show, Eddie Kingston and FTR came up short against the Blackpool Combat Club in an excellent match, with Bryan Danielson submitting Eddie Kingston ahead of their showdown at Revolution. Orange Cassidy beat Nick Wayne to retain the AEW International Championship. Meanwhile, Sky Blue picked up a deciding second win over Chris Statlander to win their trilogy of matches. And meanwhile, Chris Jericho beat Atlantis Jr. in a decent main event bout as well. So some good stuff from this week's Dynamite. Anything that stood out the most to you, Josh?
I mean that you're talking about Sting coming out the rafters. That was basically the best part for me. But I thought it was a good overall go home show for Dynamite. To be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. And their shows have been like, they've been really good lately. Never had a problem with it. But yeah, Sting definitely made up for that Ric Flair spot because that was rough. And I'm so glad like not a lot of people are talking about that because that was like the ending. Oh man, that would have been probably would have been the all-time worst ending for Dynamite.
Worst Dynamite ending ever.
Yeah, even it tops the Dark Order stuff, to be honest.
That part, yeah.
That's how bad it was to
Don't
me.
remind me.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, great show. Sting,
Sting is Sting,
Yeah.
you know, and I love how
Thing is
Darby
thing,
came.
and we get to celebrate his last match tomorrow. But yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. I also like the fact that Tony asked Owen Hart's wife for her blessing, because a lot of people might they might not see it this way. Oh, well, that has nothing to do with. It has a lot to do, especially within the relationship. Because imagine if Sting is doing that, and then she sees that, that's gonna sour something.
That could be triggering.
Yeah, exactly. It could be triggering, but then also the fact, like, she has a good relationship with AEW, and they're doing something like that. That would cause concern with her. And I think she will have every right to feel that way, just because, again, it's a personal, horrific experience to what happened. And the fact that he did that,
Oh, he asked his wife, does she have an
Martha
issue?
Hart.
Yeah, Martha. Yeah, he asked for her blessings for that spot.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Regardless of what people want to say about TK, I mean, TK is TK, So
he got some money in there.
He's getting his toys.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
you're in his space.
Okay. So yes. So yeah, I like the fact that they didn't spare any expense. You could tell that was an expensive ass rig that they used for that Rafters entrance. But talking about Sting, some notes from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. They report that the main event will be for Revolution, the AEW World Tag Team title match. Sting and Darby Allin defending against the Young Bucks. This will mark the first main event in AEW history for the tag team titles, and Sting's first in AEW, and he's wrestling in his final match. If Sting and Darby win, the Icon will retire with a record of 29-0 in All Elite Wrestling. Fightful Select has an update on wrestlers. If WWE has an issue with wrestlers attending AEW Revolution in support of Sting's final match, according to the report, there is no word of WWE telling anyone they can't be at the pay-per-view event in Greensboro to support Sting for his final match. Meanwhile, like we said, Sting entered through the Raptors, and Fightful Select reports that the company spoke with Martha Hart about doing the entrance. Of course, due to the tragic passing of Owen Hart back in May of 1999 at Over the Edge, Tony Khan personally called her while preparing for the spot in order to confer with her, and Hart gave her blessing for it to happen. Sting hadn't used the Rafters jump, which he has previously been known for since 2007, actually, and had only used it sparingly between Hart's death and that time. So this was a very, very special moment in every way, and it delivered a great final image of Sting on his final appearance on Dynamite. So hats off to AEW for that ahead of Revolution. But it seems that a lot has changed about the Revolution card coming up this week. Tony Khan was planning on putting on the Meat Madness match at AEW Revolution, but he has put it on hold due to injuries, replacing it with an all-star 8-man scramble match. Khan posted to Twitter to announce that due to injury issues, Wardlow's proposed match is temporarily frozen, and an all-star scramble match will take place in its place. Fightful Select had an update on the match change, and according to the report, the match was changed because more elements were added to the match. Additionally, the wrestlers who were initially planned for the match weren't able to make it, resulting in the change. But this started a whole little kind of domino effect, because Tony Khan addressed the change on the conference call for AEW Revolution, where there was various reports. Some reports say that he mentioned that Miro and Keith Lee were injured, and that was the reason why they couldn't do the Meat Madness match. Some reports say he wasn't particular about the names that he mentioned. He didn't mention Miro's name, but Miro responded to a report that said he did mention his name and said that he was injured in September. He got treatment in January. Sorry that Tony Khan wasn't aware of this. Basically putting him on blast for no reason, because apparently to some people he didn't even mention Miro, and you could have texted him.
This is where they always want.
I'm at the point. I'm a huge Miro fan. I think his TNT title run is one of the best title reigns in AEW history. I think even there was potential with his work with his lovely wife, his hot, flexible wife. I think there was potential. I think there was potential in that. At this point, though, fire that nigga. Let him go. Let him go back to WWE. Let him go back to WWE. See how that works out for you, bro. I'm at that point. I'm at that point.
Me too. I was like, and Romeo was mentioning it too. He was like, yeah, we know he wants to go back. I was like, he wants to go back.
He wants to go back over with Paul and them.
Yep.
He want to be Rusev.
And he's gonna be in the same position, being complacent and winning mid-card titles. Like, that's cool, I guess. Go ahead, just go back.
Go get a U.S. title run. Congrats. Like it's like you and Andrade, y'all some dummies. Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And even Andrade, he's wrestled once, and that was the Royal Rumble, and haven't seen.
They got the other Latinos that's all like in a feud right now, so they don't have any space for him.
Yeah.
They got time for promos, but not matches, I guess, for him.
Yeah. We got Annika who says, but Kevin Nash said he wasn't going because of his podcast and his relationship with WWE. No, he's not going because of his relationship with WWE and his relationship specifically with Triple H. Triple H is still upset that Tony Khan did what he did and got him fired from NXT. He still holds that grudge against him. So it's really not about Kevin Nash's relationship with WWE. It's about Kevin Nash's relationship with Triple H, why he's not going to be at Sting's final match.
Oh, okay, because he's good friends with Paul.
He's good friends with.
He's a lot closer with Paul. Yeah, he's a lot closer with Paul than he is with
Sting.
With Sting.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I mean, send him a nice card.
But I'll also be honest, Kevin Nash, you fucking lame for that.
Yeah. No, he is.
Because I mean, like, a lot of people will go there and like be behind the scenes. Like, you don't have to be on camera, bro. Like it's
he talked about it. He said I could be sitting in the crowd and they'd be like, "That's Kevin Nash's All Elite, bro." Like, this is not TNA. They don't care that much. Like, sit in the back. You don't have to be seen.
You don't right. You could be backstage watching. Like, be there for moral support. Like, this is his last match, and you know how many people will be there for, like. Shit, like, you know how many times like Jimmy has to have gone to like TNA for his wife? How many times Charlotte has went to AEW? Like, come on.
Bailey for all the Mercedes stuff.
She's going to Mercedes. She's gonna be in Boston. I already know that. Like, we know that. I'm sure my Naomi gonna be there too in the back. They never really show their faces, or if they do, they have like the who
incognito.
For Naomi's last match, they was incognito sitting in the back in the Raptors, like really quiet, like. It's okay. Like you're like you are lame for this. I'm sorry. Okay.
I hope Kevin Nash watched this podcast because I'm a big fan of you. I think
we love you. Like
I think you're one of the greatest businessmen to ever step foot in wrestling.
Like, you've changed the game, bro.
Sometimes you have to realize when you are valuing one friendship over another.
And then Sting will see that and be like, but you didn't come for me when I needed you because you thought your friendship for someone else was way better than mine.
And Nash, your level of lameness will increase if you answer this question wrong. Who called you first when you had the stuff happen with your son? If it was Kane, that's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
And I think we kind of already know the answer to that.
Fightful Select has an update on the rumor of wrestling free agent Kazuchika Okada signing with All Elite Wrestling and when the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion will make his AEW debut. As noted, Okada's contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling expired in January. With the company finished up earlier this month, and it is believed that he will debut in AEW once his New Japan obligations were completed. According to the report, AEW has been hoping and tentatively planning for Okada to be available for the March 6th edition of AEW Dynamite. This will mark the AEW Revolution Fallout episode for next week. Next week's show is being held at Gas South Arena in Duluth, Georgia, close to Atlanta. Additionally, during the media call for AEW Revolution, Fightful reports that company head Tony Khan noted that there's something he's very excited about coming to Atlanta for next week's episode. Fightful Select notes that numerous sources have indicated that the company was hoping as of mid-February that Okada would be ready to make his debut on the March 6th show. AEW is also expected to undergo a visual change next month between the rumored debut of Mercedes Moné on March 13th for AEW Big Business, Will Ospreay debuting as a full-time wrestler for AEW, and Sting's final match at Revolution tomorrow night. So it appears Okada's debut will also be a part of that. They are coming in hard, man. We're going back-to-back weeks. Okada on the 6th, and then Big Business with Mercedes on the 13th. What you think, John?
He's coming in hot.
I love it. I love it. This is what, if this was the approach that AEW wanted, as in like TK wanted more of a New Japan style, he's getting it. You're getting it with the two best workers in the world. You're getting it with Mercedes. Not only she's a great worker, but she's a huge star now. You know, she's Hollywood. Not close to the Rock Hollywood, but you know what I mean. You know, Star Wars and stuff like that.
Star power, yep.
So this is a good momentum for them. I like it. You know, it's just when it comes to All Elite Wrestling, again, the shows haven't been bad. It's just the fan perception has been weird because the fans seem like they see one negative thing and they jump on it instead of seeing like everything else that's good. But this is a good momentum thing, you know. And I've been saying that for a while. I'm like, hey, if the trade-off is having Jade leave, having Punk leave, and you get Ospreay, Okada, and Mercedes, sign me up.
He's like, that sounds like a good trade to me. I'll take it. Yeah, keep coming with those comments in the live chat. You guys are making me laugh. Power Driver Finisher. Tell it, say, just have Kevin Nash dressed like he don't want John Wick to find him. That popped me. That popped me so much. Power Driver Finisher, and I had to keep a straight face while everybody was watching. It was
I also know that Booker T did mention about the Sting stuff, like that he would love to go if he was invited. Why do they need to invite you to go? Like, it's a fucking wrestling show.
And you would never be invited because of all the shit you say.
Like,
well, that also too, but don't you need a ticket to get backstage? Like, how would he get backstage? I think he needs to be invited to be backstage. I think that's what he means.
Well, Sting can do that. You could just talk to Sting.
Like, call Sting, like, hey, guy, like beg him to be there for him?
No, don't beg him to be there. Like, yo, Sting, I would love to be there. Do you think that they would allow me backstage?
Okay.
Simple question.
Okay.
Yeah. But to say like, oh, hey, you're invited to this is kind of like, bro, what? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, I love it. And then you had AEW Rampage, baby. Last night, the show featured Magnus defeating Matt Sydal to qualify for the All-Star.
Hold on, you didn't talk about my boot on Dynamite.
Who?
Offspray.
You're right. That was a great
How
set.
dare
How
you?
you?
Hello. I mean, I thought that was in your notes.
I talked about it so much during the preview and during the review that I didn't even put it in my notes. But I will say that was me and Jimmy's one of our favorite parts of the.
It was so good. That was like one of the best parts of the show. Are you kidding? I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna get there. We're getting there. No, we didn't. We passed it. We went straight to the ending, and we're going to.
Well, we had something else to talk about Ospreay, so I was gonna bring it up then. But
okay, fine.
You wanted to bring it up early, so it's
sorry.
Fine.
Okay,
fine.
I mean,
you did take the show. You're the princess.
You used to send us the rundown of like the agenda. You don't get them no more.
I like your natural reactions.
True. Okay, that's true. That's true. Okay.
AEW Rampage last night. The show featured CMLL's Magnus defeating Matt Sydal to qualify for the All-Star 8-Man Scramble at AEW Revolution. Claudio Castagnoli beat CMLL's Rudero, who is Magnus' tag team partner in the opener, while Riho beat Trish Adora in a solid bout as well on the show. But Krssi, Josh, it wouldn't be an AEW pay-per-view week without a report of backstage issues.
Oh God!
Just
No!
days away
Oh,
from
God, I can't.
AEW Revolution 2024, a new report has revealed that there is a feeling of great frustration within the talent locker room for AEW. According to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, unrest within the locker room is being caused by several creative-based factors, such as a lack of communication, talent finding out about their creative late, plans changing often. Alvarez also revealed that this frustration has been building for quite some time, with many talent having no idea of their plans until the day of any given show. On the Wrestling Observer Live, Alvarez said, "I don't want to compare this to WWE back in the day, but it's very much like that. And a lot of people are very frustrated because they don't find out the Tuesday before. Some people do. Some people will know what they're doing because there are a couple of matches usually advertised in advance, but most people are showing up the day of the show and they find out whether they're doing anything or not, and there's very little communication. I've been hearing about this for months. People are very frustrated. Like, they show up, here's what you're going to do. Lots of people will complain and it gets changed, which is also a big problem I hear about all the time. People don't want to do something and Tony doesn't make them do it. There's a lot of this, and people aren't going to come forward and talk about it publicly. They will someday. This is one of those things where people will say, I'm wrong now, and then someday people are going to talk and you'll realize that actually I'm not wrong. I hear about this every single day. Trying to put together these shows is just a whirlwind of, will this person do this? They don't want to. What can we do? Will you do it? There's a lot of frustration. There's also injuries that he deals with. No, there are not shows put together a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance. The days of long-term booking, they're gone.
Interesting.
Brian Alvarez, I'm just going to tell you this for future reference, because I read some reports a lot, and when you basically have to put into your report that a lot of people are not going to believe you, then a lot of people won't believe you when reading this report. Like, the fuck how do you acknowledge that not a lot of people are going to believe you, but one day they'll come out,
Like, you're putting that out.
One day I'll be right. One day they'll say I was right. The hell? That's how I know you weren't that confident in this report. You just got in the flow of saying all of this and realize a couple of paragraphs into your rant that you had to have the validation of saying, some people won't say I'm right, but one day they'll say I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, and then the problem too is, like, when he does stuff like this, it's so vague that it's like, what can we believe? I don't want to call him a liar, but he tends to do shit like this, and especially as of late. As of late, that it kind of feels like it's an agenda at this point, because it's like, again, how do you go from like, oh yeah, the morale is great, to, oh, the morale's bad and it's been bad for months? And this is from the same company that reported this, so which one is legit? Right. You know what I mean? Like, you literally said this was one thing and now it's another thing, but then now it's been going on for months. What? Huh? Which one are we doing?
It's like, and that's why a lot of people put like this. Is Fightful saying that also? Because that's the only way we'll believe you, Brian Alvarez. Yep. Is it Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp, who does his job and does accurate reporting that gets proven right, that everybody says he's right? And then you don't have to have the caveat of, some people will say I'm wrong, but one day I'll be right. You'll never hear that in a Sean Ross Sapp report. So we don't believe you. You need more people.
All the SRS has been doing lately is that he's been like either confirming or denying. So if it's accurate, he'll say it's accurate. I don't think he's commented on this, because I don't even think he's been seeing it, because he's been busy with other stuff. So
I think what it really is that whoever is Dave's source, Dave and Observer have one or two sources within AEW, and one of two of those sources is a frustrated wrestler. It's a
disgruntled. Not even frustrated, disgruntled.
He's a disgruntled wrestler. He's a disgruntled wrestler, and he feels that his feelings about AEW, there's other people that agree with him.
It does come off like that.
Very suspect.
We got another super chat donation. We're only 3 away from 20 super chats on this show. We're almost done with the show, but I'm just letting that be known. If you're feeling more generous, Will, or anybody else want to join him, thank you, Will. We appreciate the support. He says, "Is it me or ever since Punk has been gone from AEW and he's not starting up drama at this point? Dave and Brian has been saying all this drama is going on in AEW, but 3 weeks ago it's all cool." Thank you, Will, because yes, ever since CM Punk left this company, the stories of drama, the stories of backstage issues or dissension have all come from Observer. Every single one of them has left this company. It's come from Observer. Every other platform tells us the morale is much better now. People are optimistic. People are excited. This and that and the third. And then Observer says, nope, everybody's frustrated. They don't like it. No, long-term booking gone. No, it's over. The roof is burning. It's going to burn down. Like, that's how they talk.
So we see something as far as we're calling bullshit. And yeah, got it.
Pretty much. Yeah. Sounds
Wrestling Observer and all their BS, it's all bullshit because they don't have credible sources. And they just want to see the downfall of this company. Great, thank you.
They went from the number one supporters of this company to really being a contributing factor to the bad faith grifting on this company now. It's weird. It's weird turnaround. Weird choice.
And the people that probably believe in Alvarez are the same ones. Again, they're dirty grifters who, like they're gonna,
who hated Alvarez when he was supporting AEW.
Yeah. And then now it's all of a sudden like, oh, he's right. He's speaking facts. That's what he's doing. But yeah, these are the same people who don't watch AEW or
at all on a weekly basis. They come in and out like.
But yeah, he's right about things like, all right, cool. All right, people. Yeah.
So, well, more about Sting. Let's happy thoughts about Sting. AEW Revolution, I got Sting's final match. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the company has acquired footage of the icon from New Japan Pro Wrestling. If they wanted to, they would be able to get footage from Pro Wrestling Noah as Sting wrestled there with Darby Allin in Great Muda's farewell show. Obviously, the bulk of Sting's career would be difficult at best to obtain, as WWE owns the footage of his time in Mid-South, Jim Crockett Promotions, and WCW. Footage that WWE doesn't own includes All Japan Pro Wrestling, which includes 4 matches, including one taped in Budokan Hall versus Dan Spivey, TNA from 2003 to 2014, Memphis, and World Wrestling All-Stars. It's not expected that any footage owned by WWE will be a part of the show, which, no duh. I expected that. Yeah. But now we can talk about Will. Without further ado, Krssi Love wants us to talk about Will Ospreay. Fightful Select reports that Will Ospreay's on-screen working relationship with the Don Callis family on AEW television will not last for much longer. And this is where I was going to talk about that segment from Dynamite. Me and Jimmy talked about it on AE Ramble. Will Ospreay just came off 100% like the main character of AEW on day one.
From day one.
Day one. Just so much confidence. The face of the so likable.
Yep.
And I really feel like he can be the top baby face by the end of the year.
He can. I totally agree with you there, SP. He should be. Not he can be, he should be. He came out. Thank you for being patient with me. I really appreciate you guys. I told you I had other obligations. That is a man. That is a person that, if I have a job that I have to finish, just be patient with me. Let me just go finish this. I have other obligations. I don't want to mess up anything over there. I don't want to burn my bridges, which is just perfectly, and that's great. But yes, he came out as the star of this whole thing. I honestly don't even think that he's a part of the Don Callis family. I just think that Don just put this match together between him and Takeshita, and let's call it a day. He gave everyone a dap and everything like that. Him and Powerhouse Hobbs, all of that. That was all good. And it's hey, he's just here. I'm just here to do my job, bruv.
Bruv. They already got the bruv shirt. I knew it. You
gotta get one.
You gotta get that
bruv shirt. If they have that on sale there, please someone get me one. I will Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, whatever it is that I need.
Yeah, he's had another version of it.
Yeah.
But I think
Okay.
this time, I think it's I believe it's an AEW version.
Okay. Well, yes. If they have one there, please get me a size small. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
I got to get the Bruv shirt. I got to get Christian is my father shirt, and I got to get a Sting shirt.
I need a Mercedes shirt. I need.
Christian shop.
Well, that's not going to be available to Boston.
I know. If it even is there.
Fightful Select reports that AEW might be looking to add yet another pay-per-view to their schedule. The Warner Brothers Discovery sources told Fightful that the recently filed trademark on AEW Dynasty is said to be connected to a pay-per-view event or special show for AEW that's being targeted for the spring. Fightful also reported that the only word in AEW is that the rumored new event could be held in April 2024. AEW has yet to hold a pay-per-view event in April. The company typically holds a pay-per-view event in March for Revolution, May for Double or Nothing. The promotion has not yet announced any shows for April 2024 beyond a dual taping of Dynamite and Collision in Worcester, Massachusetts at the DCU Center. It's unknown what location or venue AEW has in mind for the event, but Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly expecting an April show. So that would bring us to 9 pay-per-views for the year. And Tony Khan actually said that on the conference call for Revolution, that is like his magic number that would be like the most he would have for pay-per-view events. Do you agree with the choice if they would add AEW Dynasty to their schedule before Double or Nothing?
That's they can do it because they usually what are there every 3 months is their pay-per-view?
Every 2 months.
Every 2 months. They can fit it in.
I think
they have the time to fit. I think that would be like the only thing that they should put in, and that's it. Don't add anything else.
Yeah.
I
agree because usually between like AEW, Revolution, and Double or Nothing, there's a huge gap sometimes.
Yeah,
so
depending on where they fall. Yeah.
In the middle, I think that would be fine.
Sounds about right to me. And another question here from Emmanuel. He says, any chance MJF comes back at Dynasty, or is he still months away? We don't know about like his recovery process. MJF is great at keeping kayfabe. Or when he went out with the contract problems in 2022, he was off social media like a ghost. And ever since World's End, he has not touched his social media at all.
So is he injured, or he's just like
he's injured?
Yeah, okay, what did he injure?
He injured his hip at Full Gear. Remember the spot with Jay White when he did the elbow drop after the table broke?
Yes.
You smack the mat, and that's a thin mat with your hip, and he hurt his hip. Yeah,
because their ring is way different from WWE's rings. The built of it, the mat, the thickness of it. Yes.
He had the shoulder injury as well.
Yeah, he tore his labrum, and I think for a while he was trying to rehab it and avoid surgery, but there has been no word he ever got surgery, so I think he should be fine off of that. But yeah, there hasn't been not much updates on MJF, so they might just keep it a secret. I don't know if he's gonna show by then, like even by Double or Nothing, because labrum. It's about, depending on how serious it is, it could be a 9-month injury. So it's a serious injury. Labrum is the main thing for your shoulder. So who knows? Like if you avoid the surgery, he might come back sooner. But usually that's like a 9-month injury to deal with.
But let's finish up the converse with ROH TV. The show featured Johnny TV beating Dalton Castle to earn the ownership over the boys. You now have custody of the boys. It was one of the saddest endings
it was
TV in quite some time. Ian Riccaboni didn't even say enjoy wrestling at the end of the show. And that's the first time since 2018 he didn't say that at the end of the show. Queen Aminata beat Taya Valkyrie in our first upset in the Ring of Honor Women's TV title tournament. Aminata getting a win over an undefeated Taya Valkyrie in the tournament. Taiji Ishimori of New Japan Pro Wrestling made his Ring of Honor return in a win over Jacob B. Jackie. Watts and Commander defeated Blake Christian in a fun little high-flying bout as well. So some good stuff from Ring of Honor TV. I know Krssi Love is happy that Queen Aminata picked up the win over Talia.
I mean, I didn't know that they were going to give that to her, but I'm so excited that she got it. Her win number 2 for her, like she's on a roll. Let's do it. Give her that belt. I hope she can. Who's in the going? Who's?
Well, you still got the other, what is it? Round of 8, and then we get into the final 4. But Billy Starks is still in it. Diamante's still in it. Layla Hirsch is still in it. Red Velvet.
A lot of big, yeah. Okay, so
good names in there.
A lot of good names in there. So it's tough competition. But I'm excited that she got it. Oh my God, I felt so bad for the boys. The boys did not want to go, and they were dragging them. Oh my God.
Dragged them.
So sad.
Poor boys. We got a special edition this week on the Tru Heel Heat Flagship podcast. Our producer extraordinaire, Baby Seth, and myself visited Queens, New York on Thursday, and we went live to MLW Major League Wrestling Intimidation Games, their live show on Triller TV, which had some really big moments like Tom Lawler and Davey Boy Smith Jr. of World Titan Federation winning the tag team gold from the SGC. We saw a spectacular Lucha Libre battle as Mystico defeated Rocky Marrero to become the new MLW middleweight champion. Meanwhile, New Japan Pro Wrestling was represented as Matt Riddle defended the NJPW World Television Championship for the first time, getting the win over TMDK's Bad Dude Tito. And when I say Matt Riddle is the #1 star in MLW, I am not kidding at all, folks. Like, this place was sold out, and most of them were here to see Riddle.
What?
In the main event, you had Satoshi Kojima successfully defend the MLW World Heavyweight Championship over Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki in a nice hard-hitting bout between the two legends. So, really good show. Shout outs to MLW for providing us with media for the event. So we're going to try to go to more MLW events when they're in New York City. So shout outs to them, and maybe some MLW interviews in the future here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. So go over and check it out, Thriller.tv. They also got MLW Fusion on their YouTube channel, so you can check both of those out anytime you want. But finally, what we missed, TNA Impact is our final show. The show featured The System defeating Eric Young and ABC in a fun trios main event. Mustafa Ali had his X Division inauguration ceremony, which was interrupted by Chris Sabin, who called out Ali's need for change being selfish. He also said that Ali pointed out that the fans were more in support of him than Chris Sabin, which led to Sabin punching him in the face. And then the Cool Hands attacked Chris Sabin along with Ali until the Jet Setters, Kushida and Kevin Knight, made the save. Steve Macklin picked up a win over Speedball Mike Bailey in a good opener. Post-match, Nick Nemeth made an appearance interview from Japan, challenging Steve Macklin to face him for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship coming up next Friday, March 8th at Sacrifice, a New Japan Pro Wrestling title being defended on a TNA pay-per-view. 2024 is off to a great start.
I mean, for those guys, yes, absolutely. I mean, good for them.
Mascot Dupri.
Yes.
I wasn't talking about him. I was talking. I'm talking
Mascot
about like Ali finally getting his recognition and his shine. Like he deserves it. Like there's no reason why he's never been like an IC champion or US champion. Like he's great mid card. He could even be better as a champ. Like go further on. But like you never gave him that chance.
True. It's true. And then final note for what we missed from TNA, they made an announcement of a big signing this week. TNA announced that they have signed former MLW heavyweight champion Alexander Hammerstone. He's officially signed with the promotion. They also announced that Hammerstone will face Josh Alexander in a rematch from Hard to Kill in January, the next Friday at Sacrifice. So that should be a straight up banger. If you saw their matchup at Hard to Kill, you know they're going to deliver another good one next Friday. But we have made it to Krssi Love's favorite time of the show, match of the week. And we have a shorter week because we did our show on Sunday last week.
Yeah.
So we have everything from Raw all the way through last night. So I'm only going to give 3 this week. See, I'm going down to y'all level. I'm only gonna give 3. I'm not gonna give 10. No, only gonna give 3. Number 3 for me this week, I will go with the New Day versus the Imperium from Monday Night Raw. From number 2, from Dynamite, FTR and Eddie Kingston versus the Blackpool Combat Club. And number 1 for me this week, from MLW Intimidation Games. I was there live. That Mystico and Rocky Romero, man, that was so much fun. That's my match of the week this week.
Okay, well, you have 3. I believe I have 5. I think so. Okay, let's see. Number 5 is Taya Valkyrie and Queen Amanata. Amanata is a tongue twister. Number 4 is going to be New Day and Imperium Street Fight. Number 3, I'm going to give it to shit. All right, fuck it. I'll just have 3 then. Get it. I'll have that's Eddie Kingston, FTR versus Blackpool.
She got out the garage and she was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna stay home.
I'm staying home. Fuck it.
Oh, that was great. That was great, Krssi.
This is what happened. I don't write them down, but it's okay.
Your matches of the week.
Matches of the week, the ones that I've seen. I'm gonna go with number 3, Cody and Grayson Waller. No, I thought that was a pretty good main event. 3, I'm gonna go with Dalton Castle and Johnny TV, just because of the outcome of what happened. And number 1, FTR, Eddie Kingston versus the Blackpool Combat Club. I'll go with that.
I enjoyed the hell out of all of those matches this week. And finally, it's rapid fire, final prediction time. AEW Revolution tomorrow night, Greensboro, North Carolina. We got some other matches that we didn't talk about yesterday that we got to mention here, like the 0-hour matchup. It's going to be TBS champion Julia Hart teaming up with Sky Blue to versus the team of Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. These 4 women have basically been feuding since the end of last year, coming into this year, and this feels like the big culmination with everything that's been going on in the last couple of weeks, as Willow and Chris Statlander have been aligned with Stokely. They've been feuding with Julia and Sky Blue. We mentioned Sky Blue getting the win on Dynamite this week. Who you got, Josh?
This one's kind of tricky. I'm gonna go with Statlander and Willow.
I'm gonna go with Team Stokely. You're muted.
Team Stokely for the win.
Team Stokes, let's go. Tag team action. It's going to be FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli. The 20-minute time limit draw 2 weeks ago leads us to this one. Krssi Love, who you got?
Ooh, I'm going Blackpool.
Josh?
I'm going FTR.
I'm going to go with FTR as well, only because Moxley won that singles match against Dax. It makes sense.
On Wednesday. Okay,
no, Dynamite a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, they had a singles match that they opened up, I think, right?
They opened up the show. Yes. Not last week, the week. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Yes. You're right. Okay.
And now we got one of the newest matches on the card, the All-Star 8-Man Scramble. Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Wardlow, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus qualified against Matt Sydal on Rampage. One more spot to be filled between Penta, El Zero Miedo, Dante Martin, and Brian Keefe. Josh, who you got in this one?
I'm going with Wardlow.
Krssi?
So all of those guys are going against each other?
Yes, one guy wins.
Can I see the graphic again? I'm sorry.
I deleted it.
Oh, okay. I'm going, was Powerhouse Hobbs in it?
Yes.
Give it to Hobbs.
I'm going with Wardlow, coming off of that promo he did a couple of weeks back.
Okay. You're giving sympathy wins. Great.
This is the one that could steal the whole show. Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita, the battle of the Don Callis family. Krssi Love, who you got?
I mean, is that a question?
I that's why I went to you first.
You already know my answer, which is Will Ospreay, friend. Never bet against Will.
Josh?
Will.
Yeah, Ospreay's has to win, but man, I expect this to be a banger. This one, I'm not as much invested in.
Can we get a new champ?
Orange Cassidy defends the AEW International Championship against Roderick Strong, and it really feels like the orange fatigue is real on social media. I'm seeing more and more people that's like, yeah, I'm not feeling this at all.
Too much happening. Like, what are we doing? But okay.
Roddy for the win.
Roddy has to win. I'm over. Don't get me wrong. I like orange, but I'm over the orange. The reign is over. It's stale for me now, friend.
Josh?
Roddy for the win.
We're in agreement there. Then you got the TNT Championship up for grabs. Christian Cage defends against Daniel Garcia. Is it Garcia's night, Krssi Love?
No. It's Christian Cage's night still.
He's still our father.
He's still our father.
I'm going to lean with Daniel Garcia just because I think Copeland's going to screw him. I think he's going to find a way to screw Christian Cage.
Oh, you mean true.
I'm hoping not.
Right.
But I'm gonna lean with Josh, and I'm gonna say Daniel Garcia gets the win.
Okay, fine.
My pick
yeah, I mean, if Christian wins, I'll be okay with it because he's had a fantastic run. But you don't keep Copeland off this long just to like not do anything after. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, fine. We got a new champion. Let me change my answer then, because
What?
Okay. You swayed me. I'm sorry.
Damn.
AEW Continental Crown Championship up for grabs. Eddie Kingston defends against his arch nemesis Bryan Danielson. Josh.
What did I pick? Oh, I said Kingston because of what happened Wednesday. Yeah, I'll stick with Kingston.
Krssi?
I want Daniel to win, but I know he's probably going to lose. So I'm gonna go Kingston.
I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson. I'm keeping my pick. I am a Bryan Danielson mark. I don't care.
I feel that, friend.
AEW Women's World Championship up for grabs. I called it yesterday, Krssi, the best built AEW Women's Championship matchup on pay-per-view AEW has ever done. Timeless Toni Storm defends against Deonna Purrazzo. What do you got?
Purrazzo.
You got Purrazzo? What?
I don't like. Why would you make her lose though? It has to be it. Okay, maybe she lose like not in a. It's going to be a dirty finish. Then put it like that. Then that's how Toni would win.
Okay, who you got?
I got Timeless Toni.
Krssi done messed me up. Now I don't know if I should stick with the East Coast and go with Deonna.
No, I think Toni's gonna win. I think she stays champion until Mercedes takes it from her.
Okay, fine. Okay,
yeah, so I'll go with Timeless Toni Storm for that.
Deonna coming, she's losing already. Like, damn, because we got. Don't you?
She's been a champion for a while though.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Deonna.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I get it, but I think it's because of such a momentum, like the way that the landscape is right now. If you're gonna have Mercedes come in and win the title, it's gonna have to be against Toni. She's the hottest act, so you gotta. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
I agree there.
That's so you think that's the better of the two parties, like to have Mercedes against Toni more than because
of Toni's surge of her character, because of her surge, yeah.
Okay, then I will change my answer to
Stop being so convincing, Josh. AEW World Championship up for grabs in a three-way. Samoa Joe defends against Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page.
Listen,
first here. Hangman Adam Page, new world champion.
That's what I said yesterday too. Yep, I'm sticking with Page.
He lied for a reason. He's in Swerve's head, and he's gonna solidify his heel turn and become the champion. Krssi, who you got?
This is blasphemy. I don't understand why we will not give Swerve Strickland his flowers.
No. Here's the thing, though. We actually made a good argument about it yesterday.
Okay, let me hear it.
No. So the reason why I pick Adam Page is because Page is already he's going heel, right? Also, not only he's going heel, but Swerve's win needs to be meaningful, right? It needs to mean something. And tonight, if he was to win, guess what? It's overshadowed because of Sting's last match. So if you give Swerve his own platform, singles match against his biggest rivalry in the company, being a babyface, guess what? That's going to mean more when he gets the main event and wins the title.
Okay, friend, you got me.
Now, if it doesn't happen,
so
now, if it doesn't happen, I don't want to get blamed for anything.
Oh no, you definitely get blamed. Sorry.
That's all your fault.
I'm gonna go with Hangman because, like you said, it can't be overshadowed. He can get the win and let it be meaningful because he's already won before. So yeah. And like have Swerve have them have their third match again because it'll be number 3, right?
Yeah.
4.
Because they had the 30-minute time limit draw.
Oh yeah, no one won. Right.
If he gets a win back against Swerve, if he pins Swerve tonight, then
I am now switching my pick. Samoa Joe for the win, and I'm stealing Joe Hober's booking of Joe has Hangman in the Coquina clutch. Swerve gets onto the top rope. It looks like he's about to swerve stomp both men, but as he's up top, Hangman flips him off and taps out. Flips him off and taps out. So Swerve does not win.
Oh, I like that.
I like
that. That's so.
I like the idea. Like, when he said it, I was like, holy shit, that was great. But I also like the.
If I can't win, you can't win, and that's it. Oh, I like it.
Could be that.
The one thing that we were clear on yesterday in the preview, this is not the spot for Swerve to win. Swerve needs to win, but this is not the spot for him.
It needs to be in a different. It needs to be in a different pay-per-view where it means more. This is Sting's night. This is all. Everything is going to be overshadowed by Sting.
Because also if you make Page champion, I would love to see a batshit crazy Adam Page as a champion too. That would be great stuff.
Okay.
And
all right.
Finally, the main event, Sting's final match, Tornado Tag. Sting and Darby Allin defend against Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. Krssi, does Sting end his AEW career undefeated, or does he go out on his back?
Undefeated.
Josh.
I'm gonna stick with my pick with the Bucks. I don't want to, but again, Sting is old school, right? I think he's at a point in his career where he knows what he wants to do, right? Putting Bucks over would help too. It would solidify the Bucks, them as being one of the greatest tag team champions. But even if Sting wins, there was something that was brought up yesterday. Like if Sting and Darby wins, the belts are vacated, and there's something that happens that Tony Khan's been wanting to do. I'll let Sid explain that.
Okay. Explain, friend.
Sting and Darby Allin for the win because Tony Khan back in 2022, when FTR was winning all these tag team titles, the Ring of Honor, AAA, IWGP tag team titles, everybody and their mama, including Dax Harwood of FTR, wanted them to face the Young Bucks that year.
Right.
They were riding high, wanted them to face the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles, the biggest tag team match ever with all the tag team gold on the line. What Tony Khan wanted to do is he wanted both teams to be at former AEW World Tag Team champions, and he wanted their next match to determine who was going to be the first ever 2-time AEW Tag Team champions.
Right.
However, since then, both teams have won the title again, and both teams are the only teams in AEW history to win the tag team titles on 2 occasions. So I think Sting and Darby Allin win against the Young Bucks, the titles become vacant, and we get FTR Young Bucks for to determine who's going to be the first ever 3-time AEW
W
World
champ.
Champion.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it.
I think that is where we're going, and I want to celebrate Sting at the end, undefeated. So
right. That's as we should. We have to celebrate him like that. So I don't know why we wouldn't want to do it that way.
We got a final super chat donation from the great, the GOAT, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says, when y'all think AEW got the deal to put their pay-per-view on Max, if y'all heard anything? I haven't heard anything new.
Not yet. Yeah.
I just know that they're still currently in negotiations. We heard the first announcement for AEW's TV deal back in May of 2019. So I would say, and we learned about them adding Collision to their schedule last May. So I would say by May, that's when we should probably hear about the news of the new deal. But that is all for us for another flagship episode. Thank you so much to everyone watching. Thank you so much for the support. You guys killed it on the super chats today, so we always appreciate that. Miss Krssi Love, the floor is yours. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
So, guys, hey, thank you again for watching with us on your Saturday.
And she froze.
The SmackDown. Oh, can you see me? Am I there? Hello.
There you go. There you go. You unfroze.
Okay, sorry. Can you see me? Okay, can you hear me? Okay,
yes,
great.
You're good.
Okay. So yes, thank you guys again for joining us on your Saturday. Join us every Friday. Well, join me on Friday nights for your SmackDown review on bodyslam.net. For Know Your Role with my tag partner Stephanie Hypes. Join us every Saturday for our flagship show, Tru Heel Heat, 11:05 a.m. Be there or be square. And then I am on some roundtables. I am on some watch-alongs. I'll probably be on the watch-along tomorrow. And Servant Face and Hills, friends. See you there. Thanks. Oh, Krssi Love _1 and Tru Heel Krssi Love and my name. There you go.
You already know. Josh, let the people know where they can follow you.
You can follow me, JMPunk321, Twitter and Instagram. And then every Wednesdays for Elite Heat, we'll be back on coming Wednesday for the after show of Revolution. So I look forward to that. And we get Okada. If we do, that will be even more awesome.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat is the best place to support us when we're not live here on the channel. $3 a month gets you exclusive content, the Tru Heel Heat Prediction Championship, plus much, much more. Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment. Go over and subscribe over there if you haven't already. Got plenty of content that's going to be launching over there very soon. And check out all the great content we got on the channel right now. AE Ramble episode 135 from earlier this week, as well as our Revolution preview from yesterday. Appreciate all the support. Like I said at the top, drop the thumbs up, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family, and hit that subscribe button for more. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Stay tuned tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We got our Revolution watch party. Romeo will be here live, and I'll be with you on Monday for our Revolution review. But for Miss Krssi Love, for the True Jaw Josh, anyone going to be in Greensboro, y'all know, y'all will see me. Y'all seen the shirt, so hit me up. Take a picture, put it on your social media. For all of us from Greensboro, from New York, for Krssi, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 265, Rockin' Conspiracy. We are signing off until next time.
Laters.